holding on to it.
Taylor Swift's Eras Tour will proceed in London this week following the postponement of 3 shows in Vienna because of a terror attack that was foiled by police there. Arizona voters will have the chance to weigh in on the question of abortion this fall. The Secretary of State there tells ABC News enough signatures were submitted to put a measure on the ballot that would change the availability of abortions from 15 weeks to 24 weeks of pregnancy. This is ABC News. Back to court today for the former New York congressman who was expelled from Congress.
Ahead of his scheduled trial in September, disgraced former Long Island Congressman George Santos goes back to court in his fraud case. The presiding judge expected to rule on the prosecution's request to submit some of Santos's campaign lies as evidence, as well as a possible ruling on the defense's request for a partially anonymous jury. Santos was expelled from Congress after a House ethics investigation found he engaged in unlawful conduct. He pleaded not guilty to a 23-count indictment charging him with wire fraud, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, and identity theft. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
Reminder again for drivers of hundreds of thousands of vehicles that they need to take them in to get their old Takata airbags replaced. Both Ford and Mazda renewing their warnings about cars that go all the way back to the 2003 model year. They're still under recall. Takata airbags could explode with too much force in a crash, sending shrapnel through the car. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A measure which would ask Denver voters to approve a sales tax to increase money for affordable housing is still alive in the city council, despite concerns from many council members. Numerous amendments were added yesterday, and 5 voted against the plan to put the measure on the November ballot, including Stacey Gilmore.
But 12 amendments on a Monday night when we're taking our first vote on it, that tells me right there our constituents don't know what's going on.
The final vote on the measure will be next Monday. An anti-violence advocate has been arrested in connection with a deadly weekend shooting in Commerce City. Investigators say it happened Saturday at Pioneer Park, and the investigation led to the arrest of 46-year-old Lumumba Sayers Sr. Sayers founded the Aurora-based nonprofit Heavy Hands, Heavy Heart, which helps young.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $1 Small Frosty Deal.
We got quite a backup here. If you're northbound 225 this morning, there's a big wreck working in between Mississippi and Alameda, and it's got most of the highway blocked up. Those right and center lanes, only one left lane open, and we're backed up past Iliff with heavy-duty jamming through that stretch. You may want to tap into those alternate routes. Try and get yourself onto the highway somewhere from Alameda or after in there. They did clear the stall eastbound I-70 at Denver West. Better-looking drive coming across from Colfax through there. The rest of the highway's looking pretty good this morning. As we look at your weather forecast today, partly cloudy early with some scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. High of 88 degrees. Right now it's 72. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Get ready to cool down this summer with the ultimate treat. This delectable dessert is too thick for a straw, but just right for a fry. Is it a milkshake? Is it ice cream? Neither. It's a Frosty. Come taste your favorite small Frosty flavor for just $1. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Audible is a proud partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy Hansford. Troy sells more houses for more money than anyone in Denver. And his secret is a unique marketing system that's proven to get his clients the most money. Troy is so confident in his system that he will make you this guarantee. He'll sell your house at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. Now, here's how it works. You just meet with Troy, you agree on a price and a timeline, and if he can't get you that price, he'll pay you $5,000 guaranteed. Troy Hansford, he spends tens of thousands on marketing to generate demand for your home. Troy has hundreds of approved home buyers looking for houses, and they might be a buyer for your home right now. So give Troy a call at 720-900-4433. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in 7 days. So call Troy Hansford. Get more money at 720-900-4433. 720-900-4433.
Troy Hansford, RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Our goal in life is to make your life just a little bit easier. Maybe you've been ripped off by a contractor, you have a bad landlord. Plus, we got a follow-up. We're going to try to get a guy on that sent $38,000 apparently in cash to some scoundrel. We're going to see if we can help him up. He's on the verge of getting booted from his apartment, I think, tomorrow. So we're going to catch up with him. We've got a lot going on this show. I want to tell you who we have in studio. We've got a packed house today. A packed house. Dr. Joel Cherdak. Man, he is with DenverHairClinic.com, and we're going to dive into this. It's a little bit of a secret around here, but not a total secret. In fact, I don't think... Have we talked about it yet, Doc?
Not that I know of.
I don't think we have talked about it. So
we've been waiting.
We've got something coming up that's surprising, and it's a good thing that we're going to discuss probably in the first 15 or 20 minutes, so I want to tease that a little bit. It's very interesting. Then we also have Mark Szymanski. He's the owner of Genesis Total Exteriors. Genesis, of course, as in the beginning. Mark Szymanski, also a friend of mine. They've done work at our house. Just great people. I can't rave about them enough. If you need anything done on the outside of your house, these guys are great. But that's not the actual reason I wanted him in. Well, it is and it isn't. The insurance business and claims are getting to the point where it's insane. And how do I judge that? I judge it by 5 to 10 email or phone calls each week, either through referral list at help@troubleshooter.com, with people having trouble getting their insurance company to pay for all the damage after a hailstorm. Or even, we had one very recently that had smoke damage from a fire, and they couldn't get anything done. So we're going to talk about that. And somebody that I have probably talked about for 5 or 10 years easily, right here on the Troubleshooter Show, Matt Stanford with Paragon Services. So if you have any questions when it comes to insurance, when it comes to claims, when it comes to do I have damage, what should I do first? Today is the show. I have got the experts lined up, and then any questions you have on hair loss, we're going to dive into that with Dr. Joel, and we're also going to talk about that weight loss medication because one of his other clinics does that. I mean, it's pretty incredible stuff we got going on. 303-713-8255. That's the telephone number. You got a bad contractor you want to expose, a bad car deal, a bad car dealer, a bad auto shop. How about a bad landlord? How about a bad dentist? You name it, we'll take it on. We're over $300 million so far, over $300 million. Cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds directly due to the show. I also want to say, Suzanne's sitting next to me. She's ready to go to war. We have Kelly there. We have Shannon. Later on, we'll have Dragon. We've got our great deputies Who's standing by today, by the way, Suzanne? Deputy Bo.
Deputy Bo and Deputy Doc's always available.
Deputy Doc's
I know
always
Dollar's listening from home. We just didn't have room for our guys today.
Yeah, I know. We had a packed house. They didn't even know that till the last minute. Anyhow, I'll let you know when the line's open. 303-713-8255. Don't forget 303 Martino works on and off the air. Help at troubleshooter.com. Let's jump right to Shauna. Shauna, what's going on with you in the sewer?
Good morning. I had some old tree roots that were blocking the drains or whatever, and the plumber removed, cleared it out yesterday. I have a gentleman right now cleaning up the dirt and water and sewage from my furnace room.
Hey, Shauna, a couple quick questions. You called somebody out, and they basically put a saw blade down there, if you will, on an extension and cut through the roots, cleared the line out?
I don't know how the plumbers did it, but they
said it was
roots
tree roots.
Yes, and they were black, so he said that meant they were old. So my question to you is, although I have a gentleman in my furnace room cleaning up the sewage or whatever that is now, the smell continues to come upstairs through the air conditioning vent.
Ugh.
And, yeah. So I'm just wondering, in addition to what he's doing with Chemex or
let me ask you a
whatever.
couple questions. The most important, and I'm hoping the answer is yes. Did you have sewer backup coverage?
I'm checking with my insurance agent. He's getting back to me.
Hey, Matt, do most companies, Matt Stanford with Paragon Services, do most insurance companies, I think most of them have like a 10% sewage backup from the dwelling, but what do you find, generally speaking? Or is it an addendum you have to put on every time?
It's pretty complex. So most of them will cover if it backs up into the house.
That's what she's talking about. Would the basement cover?
Yeah, that would be usually covered. All the mitigation and restoration of that would be covered, but the actual pipe itself wouldn't be covered. So, but access to it would be.
So wait a second. So in her case, if she has the coverage, fixing the actual line by rooting it out or however they did it, that might not be covered, but the backup and what she's talking about now would be.
Right.
Hey, do you have your deck page? Can you log on? Who is your insurance company?
So I spoke to the agent yesterday.
Who is it?
And somebody else arranged it, a different family member. So he is getting back to me.
No.
Today.
So you don't even know, for example, if it's State Farm or Safeco?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
When are you going to be able to have that deck page? Because here's the deal. If you have some coverage there, the real way to get rid of that is someone like Rock with American Restoration. I mean, this guy this is what he does for a living. He knows how to get in there and get that place clean 100%. In fact, he'll do tests to make sure everything is gone and everything's perfect, and he'll work directly with your insurance company.
Okay.
But let's do this. Here, that somewhat answers your question if you have the coverage. But let's get Rock on and pretend you don't have the coverage and ask him how he would get rid of this and clean it up. You want to do that?
Okay. Sure.
So let's do that. Kelly, let's get Rock on if we can get him. Sean, I'm going to put you on hold. That's a big problem. I mean, Matt, how often do you guys deal with that sewage backup?
Oh, I've always got 3 or 4 on my desk that I'm dealing with.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And are they tough to get? What if she does have coverage, would it pay, for example, if there was a couch down there? Because, I mean, if that odor gets into that couch, you either got to clean it or replace it.
Yeah, stuff like that, a textile like a couch, it can get embedded into it to where it can't be cleaned, and it's Category 3 hazardous material, hazardous waste.
Have you dealt with Rock before?
I have, yeah.
Awesome.
We talk, yeah.
I love how that guy works. Let me tell you this, too. Actually, this was you. I was going to bring up a story about a public adjuster. I just remembered it was you. Smoke damage, Boulder fire. They offered the guy, what was it, a furniture store, an office building?
It was a giant laboratory.
A laboratory?
Huge laboratory, and it just got smoke damage. Not
no fire.
No flame.
Just smoke.
And
then how much did the insurance company, everybody out there listen, I'll tell you, you think insurance companies, I don't care if it's State Farm, Safeco, I don't care who it is these days. I don't even think there is a good one in my opinion. Thank God for good agents like Compass Insurance. They can shop all of them. But what did they offer that guy who owned the lab the first time?
It was a board giant board meeting, and they said, they had me on speakerphone and said our insurance company, Liberty Mutual, offered $60,000 to clean the building.
$60,000. What did they say? Did they think that was good? They could get it cleaned for that? How do you think they reacted to that?
They thought it was low. They called me to see how low. And that was basically them putting Molly Maid in there, to mop up the place. And so
let's skip forward. So instead of $60,000, how much did you get that insurance company to clean up the smoke damage? This is incredible.
$6 million.
$6 million. I'll tell you guys, that's what insurance companies don't want you to know, is that guys like Matt and Mark Szymanski know how to find the money that the insurance company owes you. We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got a lot going on. One of the things we're going to talk about, I'm going to bring up a guy they called yesterday, Joseph. This guy, I'm hoping we're going to be able to help him out. He's looking at getting evicted tomorrow. And when I tell you the story, how he lost $38,000, you're not going to believe it.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plumbline Services. With quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumbline in my home. On a mission of excellence with character and ethics. Clear drains, fix leaks, wiring, and quality Carrier systems. Plumbline Services. From Castle Rock to Fort Collins. Service at home. Servants at heart. 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com. Plumbline and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Quiet, cool house fans, QCColorado.com. If you want it done right, you're going to get that name brand fan. What a great fan this is. In fact, you can save up to 90%, 90, on your air conditioning bills. It takes all that cool air from the basement in the early morning time. Maybe if it's even just a crawl space, it takes that cool air. It brings it up throughout the rest of your house. It pushes the hot air up outside your attic, and you can turn the AC off. Tom saves up to 90% off his AC bills off the last 3 years. He's had it 3 years. You get rid of those hot, sleepless nights. You get that fresh air in. You get the air out the house. It's very quick to install. It's very energy efficient. And the guys at QCColorado.com, these guys are family-owned. They're local. They have the best reputation. They make everything great. And once again, the biggest part is it's one of those products that can pay for itself. Get it put in. You're never going to regret it. It's not that loud. It operates off a remote control. It's a great product, and it saves you money. Check them out at QCColorado.com. That's QCColorado.com. Now let's talk about a great attorney that Suzanne and I have used 2 different times. That's Fuller Law. John Fuller, he is a great guy. What I love about John is you're going to deal directly, and I mean directly, with the attorney. You want to talk to John, you're going to talk to him or get a call back from him. He can even tell you, if you've been in an accident, what your case is possibly worth. A lot of attorneys won't tell you that. You give him a call, you talk to him about the accident, and he's going to tell you what's going on. You got nothing to lose. It's free legal advice. There's no money down. Everything's on contingency with John Fuller. He's a great attorney that I have personally used 2 times, and both times he has got me policy maximums from the other people. You can't get a better outcome than that. He's a great guy, and I'm happy to call him a friend of mine. Check him out at myaccidentlawyer.co. That's myaccidentlawyer.co, or put this number in your phone in case someone does hit you. 303-597-4500. John Fuller. Fuller Law. Now, let's talk about shades. Blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, and more. I don't care if you want low tech, high tech, no tech. If it's a window covering, these guys at Made in the Shade have it. They got a wide array of window coverings, soft treatments, they got shades, they got room darkeners, anything for inside and out, awnings, you name it, these guys have it. Give them a call. What I really love about them is the savings. What do I mean? They come out, they measure, they install, they do everything, and they do it for less than the guys that make you do everything. Check them out at denvershades.co. That's denvershades.co.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about. Make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Right now, we can all use some extra cash, so why not visit David Ellis Jewelry to cash in your old, useless, tangled jewelry?
Shtick is to keep it going, but 1 minute's a long time. In almost every circumstance, huh? Why is this say? Listen to this, Suzanne. Hello from Starlink. It appears you have initiated a hardware return for a full refund. Maybe I did it inside the app?
Wait a minute. Is that to you?
I don't know who it's to. Yeah, of course it's to me. I'm in my account.
Science spoke up.
That's crazy.
We went in there and tested like 200 areas of the building, and all of them came back hot for like soot, ash, char. And so all the HVAC, all the walls and ceilings, and then all the equipment. And then there was underground.
Replace the HVAC or clean?
Clean. Yeah, it was all clean. But we're talking a building. God, I mean, I don't know how many square feet. It was huge. And then we had to power wash the whole exterior and the roof. I mean, it added up quick.
That wasn't part of their first thing.
No, the first thing was get in there and, like a Molly maid, like go in there and.
Like Service Pro.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
They must have. What was the insurance company?
Liberty Mutual.
And was that
They must have hated.
Yeah.
They must have hated you, man.
Yeah, they.
No,
I
needed
was hoping they just
that guy with the hat.
Like leave us alone. You know, they look at what I take.
Yeah, the chick I put on hold.
From them, they just give me 10 years worth of that audio.
So Rock's on 6, Kelly?
Yes, but she hung up.
Okay.
That happened to a guy.
Who's on 4?
State Farm bought a public adjuster out.
Oh, good. I haven't talked to her since Sunday.
You know his name? The name of the guy?
State Farm bought him out. Yeah. And then he just didn't.
Let me see here. Oh, so Shauna isn't on 1, but Rock is on 4. Got it.
Online at khout.com.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We got one line open, 303 Martino. We do have Rock up. Rock is with American Restoration, and what these guys do is clean up after a mess. They have all the certifications, they have the knowledge, the know-how, but whether it's fire damage, whether it's a flood, whether it's a sewer backup, which is exactly what we're going to quiz them about right now. Hey, Rock, we had a caller, Shauna. She called in. She had a sewer backup. Someone came out and fixed the sewer backup. They cleaned out the line, so that part's done, and they shoveled up all the poo-poo, if you will. They got rid of what they could, but the house still stinks. It appears to be in the ventilation systems. So a two-part question. One, she's trying to figure out if her homeowners covers it, so we're going to know that later on when we get a copy of her deck page or the policy, but how do you generally clean something up like a sewer backup if you were to go out and do it properly to where they don't have to worry about, the smell of feces forever?
You have to do clearances. You have to go until it's clear. And then you get the fecal coliforms. You do fecal coliform tests until you get a level that's within the regulatory limit.
So you basically, you go in there, you clean it, you sanitize, but then you run all those tests again to make sure there's no matter left.
Fecal coliforms in particular. Fecal coliforms.
And then you continue to do the same thing over and over until you have zeros?
Over and over until you have zeros. And then what you would do is, if it's a long area, you would do multiple tests, and if one area is lower than the other, and then you'd move in that direction. So usually, you're cleaning up better in some areas than in other areas.
Yeah.
And you just keep moving until you're, so if you're moving left to right, north to south.
I got you.
You're usually you're doing a better job probably at the beginning area than at the end area. And then, as spaces get more
I get it. You get in there and you clean the hell out of it. You retest to make sure you got everything. Let me ask you this. If someone doesn't get everything, what do they risk if that gets in the air vents or, God knows where, into their carpet upstairs through the HVAC system? I mean, is that something that can make you violently ill or what?
Hugely. The more susceptible you are allergies, weakened conditions, respiratory type of situations, the more susceptible you are. And you can, even if you're super healthy, you can become sensitized. So after a while, you can become sensitized.
Do
So
you
the fecal
generally
coliform
see?
testing-
Do you generally see people with sewer line backup say, "Do you have some coverage?" And if so, is it generally like what, 10,000, 20,000? What? Just from what you have dealt with.
It depends. It depends on the type of loss.
I get
and
that.
What type? Sometimes you have to combine different types of losses to get it covered. Water damage.
But you guys are good at that. If this lady does have coverage, she can call you up and you can talk with the insurance company and make sure it's done right. That's the bottom line.
It's correct. And the way to go is fecal coliform.
All right, hold on. I want to ask Shauna if she's got any other questions. Shauna, do you have any other questions for Rock directly? I mean, it's pretty basic. You get in there, you clean it, then you run certain tests, you make sure all the matter's gone, and then if it's not, you start cleaning again until everything's gone. He did say you can get pretty sick if it's not clean.
Right. So it's being cleaned as we speak by a handyman. I'd like to get another company in to make sure it's not continuing to come up through the air vents.
Yeah, you need
air conditioning.
I appreciate the handyman doing what he's doing, but that is not how you get rid of what we're talking about. So I'm going to give you this phone number. It's 833 AM as an AM, AMREST, REST. 833 AMREST. Ask for Rock. Rock's who he has on right now. Whether you have coverage or not, you need to make sure everything is cleaned up properly, or else it's going to be a nightmare for you.
And they'll take care of mold issues as well.
These guys can take care of anything. We have sent them out on asbestos jobs, mold jobs. We've had times where landlords have had someone pass away in their property, and he can handle the cleanup after death. You name it, they can do it. That's all they do. He lives and breathes, well, crap. How's that?
Perfect.
All right.
I will contact them right now.
Excellent. Hey, Rock, I appreciate you coming on. That's Rock with American Restoration. You can always reach him at 833-AMREST, or you can go to the website, 833-AMREST. Now, I do want to talk about something with Dr. Joel. Then Len and Joseph, I promised you're next. We can free up line one. We're going to have one line open, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off or taken advantage of. And then after the break, Len, I want you to hold, and Joseph, but we've got to get to this guy that sent $38,000. We're going to get into that. He's getting evicted tomorrow. We're going to see if he can help him. But Dr. Joel, I'm going to tell everybody out there what's going on. One of the reasons you're in is Tom had a procedure done. When was it? 2 months? 3?
It was about 2.5 months ago.
2.5 months ago. Now, I knew about it. Suzanne knew about it. But other than that, I don't think many people knew about it but you.
Right.
And the procedure's unbelievable. In fact, it was your clinic, and it was your DenverHairClinic.com. That's probably a pretty good tease on it, right?
Yes, I would.
How is it working? And let's talk about the procedure real quick. What exactly do you guys do at DenverHairClinic.com?
So what we do that's different than almost any other hair clinic in the country, is we're using stem cells. We're using umbilical cord stem cells, and we're combining that with a product called microvascular tissue.
Oh, my goodness.
The microvascular tissue is something that was used in the field of wound healing for diabetic patients, so it grows new blood vessels. And so working with another clinic in California, we've learned that using the stem cell combination with this microvascular tissue and combining it with platelet-rich plasma from your own blood, that combination regrows hair and does so in a very fabulous fashion.
So when you do this, if you think of stem cells, you usually have an injection, a guided, very perfect injection into the area, say a knee or a shoulder or something.
Right.
So when you're doing someone's entire head, I mean, let's face it, Tom doesn't have a bald spot. He has very little hair. He's just, it's been thinning for years, and now it's not there. I mean, that's how I put it.
Right.
So you have to do what, the entire head? I mean, what's that procedure look like for someone like Tom that the whole head needs it?
Well, it takes a little bit more than an hour the first visit. There are 3 visits involved.
So visit 1, what happens? Well, besides the consultation.
Well, after the consultation, if you decide that this is good, it's something that you want to do, you'll come in. It takes a little bit more than an hour. We numb the scalp up first, and then once the scalp is numb, we inject with different types of injection equipment.
Yeah.
So a multi-port injector.
All over the place?
The entire scalp.
Oh, man. Does it hurt?
Not really, because we numb the scalp up pretty well before we do it, and we also offer patients nitrous oxide if they want to be really comfortable and do it.
I got you, but
so
it doesn't really hurt.
It doesn't really hurt. So that's it. That first visit, we'll inject the stem cells in the microvascular tissue. Then you come back a month later, and that's when we use the product of your own blood. So we use platelet-rich plasma.
So
from your own blood,
PRP.
PRP.
But not stem cells at that point. They're already done.
Well, we also use, and we use the microvascular tissue and your own PRP.
Got it.
To kind of act as fertilizer, if you will, to stimulate
that's exactly how I was picturing it. It's like you throw down the seed, now you're fertilizing it.
And then the third visit, so these are all a month apart. The first visit, second visit is a month later. The third visit, where we do just the PRP, is a month after that. Patients like Tom are starting to see results around the 2 to 2.5 month mark.
Now, people that are a year in, and I realize everybody's a little different, but if you had to guess, where is Tom going to be? If I looked at his head, I haven't seen him up close for a while, honestly. Well, maybe I did last week. I just didn't even look, though. I didn't even think about it. But, I mean, am I going to see a difference if I go over there? What do you see, like little buds?
You'll see some
little sprouts?
Almost what I refer to as like peach fuzz.
Yeah.
Starting to form.
Right.
And then that continues to grow.
Can he expect like a full head of hair?
He can expect that it's going to be significantly less thin. Everybody's different, but it will fill in the thinness.
No kidding.
So he'll get a relatively thick, full head of hair.
And that's it, though. It's like you don't have to go in for a tune-up once a year.
You do come back after the first year.
Okay.
Significantly lower cost. And we can discuss the cost, but
of course.
Significantly less just for a maintenance. And what that maintenance is going to be the microvascular tissue and your own platelet-rich plasma.
How often do you have to do that maintenance?
So we recommend people come in after the first year.
Okay.
And we'll be able to, see where you are.
And then you'll know if they need to come back.
Right. Some people are on a once-a-year maintenance. Some people are on every 18 months. Some people aren't coming back for, 2 to 3 years. It really just depends on how well, because the factors that caused you to lose the hair in the first place aren't going away.
Yeah.
You need to have, like you refer to as a tune-up.
We got a break. I'm going to have some follow-up questions in a little bit. The first thing I thought about is like, if you had gray hair or if your hair was graying and you go through this and you were almost bald, you have this procedure done. I don't want to hear the answer now, but do you grow gray hair at that point? Or is because it's brand new hair, new seeds, if you will, you're going to grow the natural color you had? But I'm going to put that to you in a little bit. Everybody hang tight. Joseph, I'm going to talk to you. We're going to try to help you out on that $38K. I don't think we can help you get that back, but I know you're getting ready to get evicted. Then Len's got a concrete issue, and then we have one line open, 303 Martino. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. Any insurance company, maybe you're in the middle of a claim right now and need some help. I got the right guys here for you. No.
This hour from
Now,
the Trajan
Impact
Wealth
Traffic.
House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Well, overall, we've got a pretty good-looking drive out here unless you're northbound 225. They're still cleaning up the wreck in between Mississippi and Alameda. And those right lanes remain blocked up in there. Traffic jam back to Iliff. Make sure you work yourself to the left side of the highway. Northbound I-25, a little heavy leaving the tech center, but overall our trip up and down the I-25 corridor in good shape. There is a little two-car fender bender off to the right shoulder, southbound I-25 north of Toma. It is heavy on the approach down there. As we take a look at your weather forecast today, got partly cloudy skies. We're going to see some afternoon showers, high up near 88. It is 74 now. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made faux wood and real wood blinds and shutters, cellular shades, Roman shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more, all at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
You know, when we talk about retirement, there's a lot to think about. You know, right now the stock market's crazy. It was 1,000 points down. Now it's starting to make a little back up. But if you're right there and you're using that money, you're 65, 66, you get to the point where you have to pull it out, or you need it just to pay the mortgage, pay for health, whatever you need it for. At some point, you don't want it going up and down. I want you to look at an annuity. I want you to look at putting that money, turning it over into an annuity, and what that'll do is give you a paycheck every single month for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you'll get a check every month, almost like Social Security. I want you to check out mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com. There's great videos on there. Martino does a great video, but it's mymoneymyway.com. Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Kevin. Here's what I love about Sheridan Auto Tech. Number one, their warranty is crazy. They can do anything the dealerships do. They're going to save you money, and they have a better warranty. 3-year, 36,000-mile, all over the country. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're going to get that car fixed if you're on the road. No one else can do that. And on top of that, their pricing's great. They can do all the maintenance for you, like air conditioning services or coolant flushes, brake pads, alternators, starters, all the way up to complete engine repair. And when it comes to electrical problems the other guys can't solve, Kevin is the man. Check him out at SheridanAutotech.com. That's SheridanAutotech.com.
Hear that? That.
But I can have him like come to you at 11:14, 11:13. You know what I mean? I'll tell him to speed it up, and since it's Mark, he understands the numbers on the clock.
Was these old football injuries or just skiing bumps?
I always thought it was kind of bullshit, to be quite honest, the stem cell. And for a while it was. I mean, they were shipping basically dead stem cells and weren't doing anything. But then John Fuller had it done on his shoulder. It's been about 2 or 3 years. And, man, you know, he's a straight shooter. I mean, he is the straightest shooter I ever seen. And sure enough, man, he says it's perfect. Perfect. No surgery, nothing. He said it took a while. It took about 6 months, but perfect.
I think like anything that comes out new, they got to work out the kinks and get it right, and then keep doing the research and all that.
Well, wouldn't it be better, Doc, to do like, let's say I wanted stem cells for a shoulder. Instead of using my own, doesn't it make sense? I don't understand the compatibility, but wouldn't you want someone younger, like the youngest you could get because the stem cells are stronger, or is that simply not true?
No, it's not. Nothing works better than your own stem cells.
Talk more into the mic, too. We're always on, guys, so even when you're talking over there.
No, let me clarify. Yeah, we're on YouTube.
We're all, during the break, when you hit on, we go over the air, okay? But when we're on break, we go over YouTube. You don't have to touch anything.
But still talking to the microphone.
Yeah, because it picks you up. It's going out over YouTube.
Should I put the headphones on?
Yeah, it doesn't matter either way. But during the breaks, never hit the button.
Okay.
But remember, people hear you all the time.
But I don't. If I put the headphones on, I can't talk because I'm hearing some.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You can keep them off.
So what I was going to tell you is that what we tell patients, it depends on their health status. So as a general recommendation, if you're over 70, we recommend either a combination of your own stem cells,
a donor
mixed with a donor, or just a donor, depending on how healthy.
Can you still mix with a donor now without getting in trouble, or you got to do that overseas?
No, we do that all the time.
Okay.
What we can't do is take your own stem cells and grow them for 2 weeks and expand them and then re-inject them.
You can't.
That's considered a drug. But
because you're creating a drug, and every single drug would be different.
They just.
Yeah. It's not like you would do it once, right? I mean, every single drug would be different then.
Well.
Probably more about the money.
It's FDA, right?
You don't need to expand those cell lines to get a great result, is the bottom line. If you go overseas, like let's say you're treating it at IV and you're trying to treat cancer or something like that, maybe you do need 100 million or whatever cells. But
then you can go to wherever, the Cayman Islands.
Right. But you don't need that to do a shoulder or a knee or a back. Or
we had a clinic that actually did just that. In fact, you've heard of them. We advertised for. Yeah, Chris, what's his last? Centeno. He would go over to the Caymans 3-4 months out of the year, and he had patients. That's all they do.
Right. But you don't really need to do that.
Yeah, I dig
People
what you're
aren't
saying.
really doing that
An
anymore.
excuse to go to the Caymans, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But it's also,
vacation.
you're talking like
What do you got,
15
Kelly?
versus like 7.
Right.
Yes.
John Fuller has a live,
Awesome.
but he has a mediation.
Okay.
He has to do. Are you cool with us moving him to the top of the hour and in content?
Yeah, just tell me to fill 2 minutes and I'll fill it
Yeah,
on the live.
15, but I'm saying, are you cool
Yeah,
with
yeah,
doing
of course. Absolutely. In fact, I prefer it because then I can get some spots in. Comprende? Can you give her some stem cells?
Now.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We're going to dive into something here that is crazy. Joseph, he called yesterday towards the end of the show. That's kind of why we've got him back up. The story goes like this, and honestly, I have a hard time believing it, but I simply don't know. He got bamboozled, according to him, by someone that was, what exactly were they doing, Joseph? They were charging your credit card or using your credit card, apparently, for some kind of child porn. Is that correct?
That's what they said, yes.
Yes, and then they said because it was your credit card, someone called you up, said they were with the FBI or some form of authorities, and said
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it was just some random people who didn't call me. It's not a credit card, it's my checking account.
Yes.
And
Joseph, how do we go to the point where you went to your bank and withdrew $38,000 in cash?
What do you mean?
How do we get to that point? Basically,
well, they told me to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Someone called you and they told you to go get it for what reason?
They said because of the child porn and the investigation was ongoing.
Okay, so they had an investigation, and what was the $38,000 for?
They said I was just to close my account and send them the money because they needed the money for to hold it for the investigation. And
so they wanted you to pay for the investigation into you.
They didn't want me to pay for the investigation. They said they'd hold my money until the investigation was over. They'd send me the money back.
So they were going to hold your money. Then, if you were not guilty of child pornography, they were going to give you the money back?
Right.
Okay. So then you went to your bank, or if I recall, your Belco credit union.
Yes.
And you withdrew $38,000.
Yes.
Now, how much? You're looking at an eviction tomorrow, right?
Yes.
How far back do you? How much do you need to cure?
5,400.
5,400.
I'm 3 months behind.
5,400.
Yes.
Do you have a job?
I'm getting one.
So you don't have a job. How do you?
Not at the moment.
Even if you're really making me nervous now. So I've got two things going through my mind right now. Number one, if we did bail you out, I think you'd be in the same damn spot in 30 days.
No, because I will have a job, and I've got.
What kind of job?
Security.
Why don't you have a job right now?
Well, I retired.
How old are you?
69.
You're retired. Okay.
Yes, I quit my job to retire, and I got the money from Para.
Yeah, and then you got screwed because you sent $38,000 in cash.
Yes.
Okay. Did you go to your bank and get us something that proves you withdrew $38,000?
Yes, I have it with me. I can email that.
Yep,
as
I
soon as
want
get around
that.
to it.
I want that before I want anything else. So hold on. So Kelly, we're going to get that. I want to see what's going on with that. Let's keep him on hold. We'll bring him back up after that. Meantime, is it Vanette? How do I pronounce your name?
It's pronounced Vanat.
Vanat, how can we help you?
Well, I have a roofing problem with Anderson Construction. For the past year, they've been stringing me along. I've been trying to get my roof fixed, and whoever their project consulted with, I don't know whatever happened to the paperwork, but I keep calling. They're not returning. They're not very reliable. I always get an answering service, and then I get a text message saying that someone will be in touch with me, and no one ever does.
Hey, Vinod, let me ask you some real basic questions. Was it from a hailstorm, or what was the original damage? Why were they out there?
On 6/28/2023, we had the big baseball hailstorm out here in Colorado.
Wow.
And I got severe damage to my roof, my gutters, my windows, everything. And they were in the area trying to get, customers.
Yeah.
And they approached me, and I decided to give them a chance because I wanted a contractor that can do the
So
whole
how
work
much?
instead of going
How much has been done so far?
zero.
So I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Your roof is still exactly like it was after the hailstorm.
Yes, and then we just had a tornado yesterday, and now my whole
hold on.
whole living room caved in.
Oh my God! Yesterday.
Yes.
Are you there now?
Yeah, I'm staring at the hole right
Can
now.
you send us a picture of that?
Sure can.
We need to help you out. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, I've got so many things going through my head right now. When did you sign that initial agreement with Anderson?
The initial agreement was signed a year ago.
This is crazy. You know what? You can get out of that contract. I don't care what anybody says. It's been a year. I have no idea why they wouldn't want to do this. Mark Szymanski.
Yeah, have you paid him any money, though?
No, they tried to get money out of me last week, and something said don't send the money,
Good.
so I didn't.
That's great. That's great to hear.
How much did you get from your insurance company so far?
Well, as you know, my claim is the money is still sitting with them. They only send you about, I think, $6,000 just to get the work started, and then the company will then file to get the balance.
I want some pictures quick. I'm going to put you on hold. I got to take a break. Get me some pictures. I'm also going to put them up on the YouTube channel. We're going to get Matt from Paragon and Mark to dig in with this after the break. This is crazy. We need to go out, check out the damage going on here, and get this Anderson company a year?
Yes, a year.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Colorado State Patrol.
Well, overall, we've got a pretty good-looking drive out here unless you're northbound 225. They're still cleaning up the wreck in between Mississippi and Alameda. And those right lanes remain blocked up in there. Traffic jam back to Iliff. Make sure you work yourself to the left side of the highway. Northbound I-25, a little heavy leaving the tech center, but overall our trip up and down the I-25 corridor in good shape. There is a little two-car fender bender off to the right shoulder, southbound I-25 north of Toma. It is heavy on the approach down there. As we take a look at your weather forecast today, got partly cloudy skies. We're going to see some afternoon showers, high up near 88. It is 74 now. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Slow down and move over. For people changing a tire, roadside workers, or emergency service crews. Slow down and move over. It's the law. Brought to you by the Colorado State Patrol.
SimplyFloorsInc.com, Buddy and Karen Mitchell. Man, do they know how to run a store. You realize they've been in business over 10 years now. They started out doing just in-home shopping. They would bring the samples to you. By the way, that's the way I prefer. But now they have 3 showrooms across Denver Metro. The business has grown. They've got the most beautiful flooring material I've ever seen. It's called Proximity Mills. Just Google it. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the carpet or the hardwood or the vinyl tiles or real tiles. Proximity Mills is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. But these guys can do anything. They can do stuff for a fix and flip maybe you're working on. Or if you got a $3 million house. The bottom line is if it has a floor, you want the right flooring people. I've personally used these guys multiple times. Check them out at simplyfloorsinc.com. You can get all the addresses and phone numbers to the showrooms. And on top of that, you can schedule an appointment right there. Well, they'll bring different samples to you. They'll help you with color choices, with your furniture, your paint. They'll do everything. You'll save money. You're going to love the product. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Now, moving into retirement, man, that can be a lot. Think of your working self and having that paycheck every month or every 2 weeks or whatever it happens to be in your case. You've been saving money forever for retirement. Maybe you've got some orphan 401ks. Maybe you own a business and you're trying to figure out how to pass that business on to your offspring or to a partner or to anybody like that. The bottom line is Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies can help you with every single aspect of retirement. That's why we love these guys. 40 years of helping people. They can help with the income, the investment, even the health care. And then, of course, that legacy passing on. And then the taxes and the tax ramifications when it comes to where to take the money out monthly. Please give them a call. You can talk to them over the phone. You can talk to them by Zoom. You can meet them in person. They're great people. 855-SWAN, S-W-A-N now, 855-SWAN now, or check them out at rpcenter.com.
Stem cells still big, or is it mostly PRP?
No, that's all we do is stem cell.
Oh, so you don't do PRP?
Occasionally, but
You still take it like out of the hip? I had a friend that did it.
we do hip and fat. So we do bone marrow and fat. So we take a sample of bone marrow out of the hip, and then we take a sample of bone marrow out of the abdomen, and we combine that together with PRP, and that's what our mix is. Yeah.
How did she say she pronounced that again? Vanat?
Vanat.
God, that is a Vanat. I'm gonna respell it so I don't have to ask that question again.
Just don't say Vano.
I know. Quit messing with me, man. It's always the thing you don't want to forget, you forget, right? Or is that just me in my old age?
I do it too.
God, I want to remember his name. Oh, what the hell's his name?
Well, if her living room was caused by a separate event, then she's fine. But if it just roof leak, they're going to say you had a year to do your roof and you didn't do it.
Well, let's talk about that in real terms. I wonder where she lives.
Curious to see the picture. Sound like out east.
Yeah.
We haven't had baseball.
Wasn't that in, I think that was out where it was going right through siding. No, that was more than a year, though. She's talking a year ago. Baseball?
I mean, that's major stuff. And a tornado yesterday, I don't know where that would have been.
There was some stuff southwest, east of here. I was watching the radar.
Yeah, I was driving my camper through that. I barely dodged it.
I need to find a hailstorm for my son's car to drive into. $3,800 for his air conditioning get repaired.
Oh, God.
You want to talk pricing, though, too, Doc? You're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, at one point, I swear to God, I thought there was hair transplants where they remove your seedlings from your pubes and put them in your head.
Yes.
I swear to God,
Straight and curly hair.
I truly thought that was a real thing years ago.
Somebody played a trick on you.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody did. That just may be where my brain went. Like, well, if you don't have hair here, you probably still have hair here.
Well, one thing I want to say, if I can squeeze it in, is that we do full hair transplant also. And when we do a full hair transplant, we also use the stem cells as part of that procedure.
But you have hair like instantly?
So let's say you had a big bald spot.
Let's do it during the show.
From the back.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen people do it, and it doesn't look, I mean, they probably went and did it in Mexico. I don't know.
Michael Brown's looks incredible. He had a bald spot like that. It's whatever he did, and I think it's very similar to what you do.
We do the same thing.
But it was years ago. It was at least 2 years ago.
The only difference is that we add the stem cell to that.
Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, it's the same procedure that they do at like advanced hair, everywhere else. It's a team that you bring in to do it.
You know, I remember Seinfeld where he was ordering the gel from China that you just rub on your head and it's supposed to grow.
There's a lot of celebrities that have had hair transplants.
An iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. I'll let you know when the line's open. Listen, we've got a lot cooking right now. Hey, Kelly, catch me up on a few things. One, is that guy sending his bank statements?
Please check your email.
Ooh, excellent. We're going to check the bank statement, see where he withdrew $38,000. Then I got to get back to Vinat. Kelly, you changed the spelling on me, and it just screwed me up. We were talking over break. I wanted to remember exactly how to pronounce her name, so I phonetically spelled it, and then someone switched it back, and then, of course, that screwed me up. But Vinat, listen, you've got a serious circumstance going on there. You had the hailstorm about a year ago. You hired the roofer. Please tell me the actual name of the roofing company besides Anderson. What exactly is it?
The actual name of the company is actually called Anderson Construction, Inc.
It's like I think they're trying to piggyback on what I would refer to as a decent name in the business. What do you guys think?
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
also check your email. There are pictures that she just sent.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to get those up, too. Would you guys do me a favor? One of you, look up this Anderson Construction, Inc. So was there any reason that they would say you wouldn't let them on the property? Or why are they telling you they haven't started the roof in a year? What is that? When were they supposed to start the roof?
Well, they were supposed to start it right after the senior project consultant supposedly got my signature on the contract. When I reached out to Jeff, the guy I spoke to at Anderson, he didn't even have any knowledge of what was going on with my house. He had to dig through all these paperwork to even get anything on me.
Yeah. This is crazy. Mark, you do roofs over at Genesis Exteriors. Let's talk contractual real quick. If it's been a year and they haven't done anything, nothing, but hit her up for money a couple weeks ago and she was smart enough not to send it, I don't see that contract valid at this point.
Probably not. And most likely, they don't have all the right things you need to have in the contract.
In the roofing contract.
In the roofing contract.
Such as a price.
A price, start date, end date.
3-day right.
Yeah, 3-day right. You have to have your insurance company listed. There's several items on there.
Can you send us over a copy of that agreement?
That would be great.
Sure.
I would like to send that. Send it to the same thing. I would like to send that to our attorney, Brad O'Brien. Have him eyeball it. But I think, well, let's put it this way. I wouldn't even mess with them now. I don't even care. If they wanted to try to come after me a year later, I wouldn't deal with them. I wouldn't give them a penny. I wouldn't let them on my property. I just wouldn't. But I want to get you a legal opinion on that as well. So I want you to get that to us. I'm going to look at these pictures over the break. I'll have Suzanne put them up for our YouTube people. But here's the bottom line. This company has not fixed her roof for a year. Then she had another thing happen a couple days ago or yesterday. Did you actually get hit by a tornado or was it just high winds? I haven't looked at the picture yet, but what happened to your house yesterday?
Well, yesterday we got hit. The whole area got hit with the tornado was north of my property, so we got all the winds, the rain, flooding all through the neighborhood, the property. And with that amount of rain, I knew something was going to happen with my roof.
What town are you in?
I'm in Brush, Colorado, Morgan County.
Okay.
That's not that far, is it? I mean, it's far, but it's not. Do you work out there?
Yeah, we'll go there.
Yes, I do.
No, not you. I got you.
Yeah, Genesis will go out there.
And
yes.
I'm still looking for this picture. Kelly, I simply just don't have it. Let's do this. Let's get her on hold. We're going to end up with one line open, 303-713-8255. We've got a lot cooking here. We're going to try to help her. I'm going to look at Joseph's bank statement, see if he actually withdrew $38,000, and we're going to see if we can't figure out something for him. But everybody hold tight. I know this break's going to be coming up pretty quick. Len, real quick, what is the deal with the concrete so I can get ready for it? Len?
Okay.
Yeah, in a nutshell, real quick, what's the problem? Real quick.
Okay, I had a guy resurface my driveway.
I got it. That's all I needed. It probably looks like crap. We'll talk about that and a lot more after this.
Well, it sounds like the knot. She just had a roof leak. Probably.
Tornado. She might be exaggerating on the baseball size, Hal, and a little on the tornado. But it sounds like she's got... Okay, here's the photos. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let me forward these to you, Suzanne. Do you know how to get them up?
Yeah, we can get them up.
I'll send them to help. All right. Holy shit. This is bad, guys.
Okay, I've screwed this up before. Do you want me to get them up right away, or
Try to get them up now, yeah.
Okay.
Come ask me if you got a question.
No, but you're fine with them going up during break. You don't want them to go up while you're chit-chatting.
No, I want them going up right now if you can. They can still hear us. Look at that. What? I mean, that looks like her roof collapsed.
No, that's all insulation. So drywall insulation. Water came in the house.
Did she say it was raining really bad yesterday? So how are they going to look at that?
You didn't replace your roof, and
She could be really in a bad place.
but the cleanup and redoing insulation and sheetrock is not wildly expensive.
Here's the other deal. I bet this construction company, I bet they missed a lot of shit. I bet if she really had baseball-sized hail, if I get you the address, can you guys look up and see what kind of storm we were talking about?
That's easy.
Hey.
You know what might have happened? There might have been a penetration in the roof.
Hey, Vanat. Hey, I want you to give someone your address real quick. He's going to write it down. Hold on. Here, Matt. There's a pen there.
Hey there. Yeah, what's your address?
Yeah, that looks okay. I see what you're saying. It looks really bad, but it's somewhat cheap.
Drywall insulation.
That's all it is. And then, of course, the roof.
Get her phone number.
Oh, he was, I think. Yeah, that was the last person that was on there.
Are you No, I don't see your phone number on there.
I'll get it before we hang
Yeah.
up.
Get a bag
Holy
of ice.
shit.
Aren't you
They want to pay. They want her to pay right now. They want her to pay right now. I just can't believe it.
The roofer?
Yeah, good luck with
Yeah,
that.
the roofer just tried to shake her down. I found
No, it's
she
here.
put some stuff in an email here. Every time I call, they don't respond or get back in touch with me.
I wouldn't even worry about it. We do any kind of. I don't like going inside the houses, but I'm a general contractor. So
Okay.
Any kind of remodeling, preferably outside.
You guys insurance work like?
Yeah. So we partner.
They do a lot of stuff together.
Pictures are sent.
Oh, they are sent.
They weren't there. Where'd you send them to?
Help right here.
Let me see what they look like. Yeah, those I didn't get. You sure they went to help?
Help at troubleshooter.com. Let me see.
Oh,
from help. I see. File forward to help.
But I will work inside sometimes.
Wonder who her insurance company is. That's important too.
What's that?
Or who's her insurance company? Did she say?
Troubleshooter show. Hold, please. I will ask her. 6,000. So even if it was an old roof,
Probably a $10,000 job right now.
God, even with that hole.
Well, now
Well, that's.
I
got you.
Now, yeah, God.
Her real trick is going to be able to get enough out of that claim to cover even this other damage. Can you go out there and argue?
Cambridge, yeah.
Can you argue it is a whole new claim, or they're going to go back to that roof thing?
It just depends. I mean, that much water coming in, something happened.
Something
It
catastrophic.
wasn't leaking before, I assume, and all of a sudden,
I don't know. Yeah. Yep, that's what it looks like.
yeah.
Just a simple wrench.
Yeah.
Do you know when that hailstorm hit?
That was last year. It was big. Remember last year we were getting storm after storm.
Yeah, and the year before that there was like nothing.
Well, the perfect scenario here: kick Anderson off the job. You get the job for the roof and exterior, and then I work on the interior claim and on a brand new event.
Yep.
And then we're good. But any number of things could happen along the way there. I really want to know who she's insured by.
We'll find out real quick. What's the worst scenario?
Allstate.
I'm going to ask you that while.
American Family would be not good. Amica would probably be ideal, or Acuity.
Why? Why?
Oh, they just want to help.
Just easier to deal
They're just great.
Okay. Oh, who's calling? We're seeing 21 Pilots. Thursday, first day of the tour, man.
Where at?
Pepsi, or whatever the hell it's called these days. It'll always be Pepsi Center to me.
That's kind of how it is, yeah. People just call it Pepsi.
Well, it's funny. Now Ball has it. Who makes the cans for Pepsi?
They what?
Ball makes the cans for Pepsi.
I didn't know that.
I used to be in the trucking world, and to go out the Ball plant in Golden, you see these semis full of aluminum cans. And then if a pallet falls over, they just shove them in and they just, they melt them down. Start all over.
See, I always pictured them just in the mason jar business.
Oh no, they're huge can manufacturers. Now they sold their aerospace division, so now they're not aerospace anymore.
That's funny that Pepsi and then Ball.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's got all kinds of weird shit going on. Withdrawal 10,000. Withdrawal 10,000. Withdrawal 10,000.
So that must have been the daily max.
I don't know, but he did it. 2 of them he did in one day, and then one of them he did the very next day.
Catch me up on this. He got a call saying we got you for child porn and you pay us while we investigate.
Yeah, and he sent. It's incredible, and apparently he wrapped up. He did. I cannot bullshit this. This guy within 1-2 days. So on October 5th, well, this is weird. Now his timing's all off. This guy's all over the place. He couldn't even remember anything yesterday, but
What are the chances?
wait a minute.
He's guilty of this?
Wait a second. History of account.
And how do you retire on 38 grand?
Wait a minute. I'm starting to think this might be. I don't know what the hell he got here. This doesn't even look like a real statement. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't even say like any credit union name on it.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Really, we're here to help you out. We have a lot of stuff cooking today. Over the break, I got a lot of information I got to look at. We're talking to a poor woman whose roof basically caved in yesterday. She hired a roofing company, Anderson Construction, and she hired them a year ago, and they haven't done anything. And then the big problem is she had more damage last night. We're going to talk to Matt with Paragon about that, and also Marc Mager with Genesis Total Exteriors. We're going to try to get her figured out and helped out. But it's really a crazy deal. We also have Dr. Joel Cherdak in. Tom actually had his hair done, a procedure for his hair to grow back with Dr. Joel about 2.5 months ago. If you look at Tom's head now, you can actually see results. It's starting to really fill in. I did have that quick question for Dr. Joel, then we're going to hop onto the phone. But Dr. Joel, when someone gets hair restoration the way you guys do it, what color is it going to come back? The natural, the gray, the last color you saw in your head? How does that part work?
Well, it's going to look real similar to the hair that you still have left. So if you have thinning hair, it's just going to fill in. If you got salt and pepper, it's going to blend in.
It's going to blend in.
It's not going to grow back. If you have gray hair, it's not going to grow a dark patch of hair on it. If you have dark hair, it's not going to grow a gray patch of hair.
It's going to fill in exactly what you have.
Exactly. Because that distribution of grayness is always going to be pretty symmetrical.
But with Tom, it was basically his whole head.
Right. So with Tom, he had extremely thinning hair with a bit of a bald spot.
Got it.
And I'm sure he wouldn't mind me discussing this.
No,
but,
I know.
But, we were able to do the procedure with just the stem cell therapy that I was talking about and get hair growth that's occurring to fill in the thinness. Now, if you've got a big bald spot, you need a hair transplant, which we do.
Now, where does the hair come from?
The hair comes from the back of the head. It's called a follicular unit extraction. They used to cut a big strip out.
So you're basically pulling it out where it's still growing.
Right.
So if you got that, what do they call that? The half moon or whatever. You got that spot that's bald. So you go to a spot that's always growing. You take the hair from there because it's going to grow back.
Right.
And then you transplant that hair. How long is that hair when you transplant it? Whatever length you take it?
We take the follicle out. So we have a machine that extracts one by one each individual hair follicle. And they're different sizes, and we sort them into different sizes, and then we reseed them in the areas where there's a bald spot. So basically, we make little holes in the scalp and fill them in as rows. And that's to, if you're missing most of your hair, you need to have that done. But what we do that other clinics don't do that do the hair restoration, we add our stem cell procedure to that hair restoration when we do the procedure. Now, that's for somebody with a lot of balding area where just the stem cell alone is not going to regrow the hair. The stem cell procedure by itself is great if you have thinning hair, small bald patches, a slight receding hairline.
Got it.
But if you've got something significant, you're going to need you're going to need a hair transplant.
And that works, though. That's it's going to continue to grow.
Right, right, exactly. It's just like any other clinic that does it, that's out there, that's been doing it for years. The only difference that we do is we add our stem cell therapy to the transplant procedure
to make
as well.
It quicker,
to make it quicker, to make it last longer, to make it just fuller. It just really benefits it.
So, folks, you got to check it out. Go to denverhairclinic.com. Do you have a video or anything like that on there?
If you go to denverhairclinic.com, you'll be able to see pictures.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Let's get Tom on there. We really should. We should be able to get him. I know we can't do it today, but over time, from like day one, I bet you took pictures.
Yep.
And then, 2 month, 4 month. I think we should follow that. I think that'd be kind of cool. All right, 303-713-8255. I'll let you know when a line's open. I do want to take John Fuller real quick. All the kids are back in school, John, and I got 2 emails. I told you I wanted to talk to you about this, but basically, what if anything, with kids back in school, do people need to know about insurance? Is there anything? John Fuller. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I can tell you what we get a lot of this time of the year is we get a lot of accidents with young, inexperienced drivers out there that are all of a sudden driving to school by themselves. They have their friends in the car.
Ooh.
They do dumb stuff, and they cause accidents. And so now is a perfect time to double-check your own insurance and make sure that you have the right coverage. You need to make sure that MedPay is in effect, and you need to make darn sure that uninsured motorist coverage is there, because many times parents have not gotten around to telling their insurance company about their newly licensed driver. And what happens is all of a sudden that is an uncovered accident and there's no coverage to repair the damage that they've done.
Hey, John,
So
if
it's very
someone
important
if someone has a kid that turns 16, say, over the summer, and they are going to be driving to school like you just painted that picture, but the parents never told the insurance company that the kid turned 16 and got a license. Is there still coverage for that kid?
There are circumstances, and I've had cases where the answer is definitely no. The insurance company can exclude coverage for drivers that it's not aware of that live in your household. So it is incredibly important. Don't think you can save money by just not telling the insurance company about that new 16-year-old driver. You may find that you're having to pay for those damages out of your own pocket because your insurance company has no coverage for you. Very important. But hey, it's also very important to protect yourself.
Oh yeah,
and
UIM.
Now's the time to do that.
Hey,
So,
John, I appreciate your info all the time.
Yep, thanks, Mark.
You got it, man. John Fuller, Fuller Law. In fact, he's Suzanne and I's accident attorney. I'm not kidding you. We've used him numerous times. Policy limits every time. The guy is unbelievable. You deal directly with John. Any question you have, or if you've been in an accident, maybe you've been putting off calling an attorney, but that neck still hurts, you still have a problem, please take it from me. Reach out to John Fuller. You can find him at myaccidentattorney.com. Please check him out. Honest to God, John Fuller. All right, 303-713-8255. I want to get back to Vanat, and this is crazy. So here's what happened. A year ago, she has a hailstorm. She hires a roofer that came knocking on her door, Anderson Construction. It's been a year. They haven't started. Fortunately, she hasn't given any money out of pocket. Yesterday, and the guys in studio with me, They looked at the pictures already, but bottom line is she had another event yesterday. We put the pictures up on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, type in Troubleshooter Network, you can see what we're talking about. You can also hear us during the breaks. But bottom line, guys, here's what I'm worried about. And I've got you up, Vinat. You had a problem a year ago with your roof. You had an insurance claim. I'm afraid your insurance company, when they see what's going on right now, they might not cover that new damage because you should have had your roof repaired by now. I understand you hired what appears to be a very bad company. It's taken a year to do nothing, but that doesn't negate the fact that you should have had the roof done. So, Matt, with Paragon Services, this is what Matt does for a living. Matt, if you went over there and got involved into this claim, what advice would you give right now? And you wanted to know what insurance company. What is your insurance company?
Safeco.
Safeco. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the first thing to do is go up on the roof and see the origin of the new damage. If it was a tree limb that penetrated the roof and water was just gushing in there, we've got a new claim.
Yeah.
If it is just simply the roof is fine and it looks like the older hail damage and water made its way through a hole from the hail damage or something, we might be able to. It just depends on who we get as an adjuster.
Hey, Vinat, let me ask you this. In the past year, we've had a lot of rain. Has rain come in before, or what happened on that roof last night as far as you can tell?
Well, as far as I can tell, is we got a lot of heavy rain last night. I mean, this was tornado-style rain, as well as some sleet, pebbles just hitting us hard. I mean, I've never seen this area flood like this.
Oh,
I mean, we had flood through the yard. People are out of power right now in this area.
You've got a lot of
came all the way to my door.
You have got a lot of things going on. I'm going to make a suggestion to you. I'm hoping my buddy here, Mark Szymanski, generally he's the eyes on the ground. Mark, is this something you can go out and kind of assess for us and see what's going on?
Yeah, we can. And, if we can do a temporary patch, and then we can actually get going on a roof. I mean, we're about a week out on deliveries. I mean, so if she switches...
But you can get out there and make it so water's not coming in.
We can do a temporary
You can
repair.
stop the damage.
We can stop the damage.
Is that something you would like, Vinat?
Yes, because I hear that we're getting more tonight.
Oh, my God. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to send these guys out there. As far as the contract with these other people, I'm going to have Deputy Doc just make a call, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't mess with them. If it's truly been a year, did you send that contract, by the way, because I haven't eyeballed it yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm going to eyeball it during break, and then hold on one more second. I do want to eyeball that, run that through these guys. I might get Brad O'Brien on. But I wouldn't mess with them. If it was me, and this isn't legal advice, I simply would not mess with these guys. I don't care what they say or do. A year is absolutely horrible. And because their ability not to do the job whatsoever, because they can't even get out there in a year, you have more damage now. I mean, these guys, if everything you're saying is correct, in my opinion, these guys suck. I mean, really suck. Hold tight. Oh, this is where the Fuller is. I see. Thank you.
Construction has a nice website.
Oh.
It's them. They show roofing. Big fancy houses.
Can we get Brad O'Brien on and email him a copy of that contract?
You have that contract? We can tell.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm going to let these guys look at it first. Suzanne, would you go into help and forward these two the contract wherever they want it?
Sure. Helpity help. Let's see here.
I haven't even seen it.
We're going to send it to, hang on.
Send it to my email.
All right, hang on. Yep.
Quiet, cool house fans. I want to tell you a few things about them. Number one, they're going to save you a ton of money. People save up to 90% compared to the cost of running that air conditioner. What the fan does, and it does it just like it says in a very quiet way, takes all that cool air from downstairs in your basement, your crawl space, the coldest air in the house in the morning. Then it flushes out the hot air, bringing that cool air up to the higher floors and cooling off the entire house. I mean, your house can drop 10, 15, 20 degrees within a few minutes. It's absolutely incredible. The cost savings with the energy alone is absolutely nuts. You get rid of those hot, sleepless nights. You save money. It's quiet to operate. You get a remote control with it, and it just makes the house better. You're bringing in that fresh air from outside in that morning, flushing out that old, stale, hot air. You got to call these guys. We've been talking about them for years. You're going to love it. QCcolorado.com. It's simple as that. Go to QCcolorado.com, QCcolorado.com. Let's talk about SimplyFloorsInc.com. These guys have multiple showrooms. I don't care if you want luxury vinyl tile, maybe just regular ceramic tile, maybe you want carpet, maybe you want hardwood, you name it, they have it at SimplyFloorsInc.com. Multiple showrooms, once again, across the Front Range. But my favorite part with Simply Floors is they'll bring the product to you. Give them a call at whatever showroom's closest. They'll put samples in. They'll drive out. They'll even bring a color expert that can help you match with your furniture or your decor. You name it. These guys can do it. The price is right. The product's incredible. From fix and flips all the way to $3, $4, $5 million homes. They have it all. In fact, check out their main line. You're going to love this line. And look at the reviews on it. It's crazy. Proximity Mills, and they're one of the exclusive dealers around. I've known Buddy Mitchell and Karen for so long, it's crazy. They've worked in our house numerous times. They've helped out callers. They're good, honest people that just run a great company. Simply Floors, Inc., INC, SimplyFloorsInc.com. Now, we're almost finished up with the Art of Granite. Mitch came out. They did all the tear out on our master bedroom. They did all the tear out of those old counters, and they helped us pick out different stuff. Suzanne ended up picking out this beautiful, it's like a white quartz. It's got this kind of gold going through it, but it's natural stone. It's all around our tub now. We got new sinks from the Art of Granite. Our bathroom is looking like a brand new $3 million home bathroom, but the Art of Granite, their prices are unbelievable. What I love about Mitch, listen to me, you can go to theartofgranite.com right now, get his phone number, his email will be on there too. You can email him a few pictures. He might ask for a few dimensions. He'll give you a price right over the phone. Find me any contractor around that will give you a price on a remodel of your bathroom or kitchen, any countertops you want, right over the phone. You got to check him out. He's a great guy. They do all the fabrication in-house. And if they don't have what you want in their yard, you can use their wholesale account to go anywhere and pick out the stone. They'll do all the fabrication, the haul away, the installation. They're great people. Please check them out. Theartofgranite.com. That is theartofgranite.com. That was 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Hey, you're going to lose your mic, first off.
Why? Oh, man.
Second off, I don't see that contract that you want me to forward to the guys.
Let me make sure I have it.
I don't see it in help, so I'm not real sure where to.
Oh my God. Hopefully it's running better now.
I don't see it either. Oh, wait, let me see what this is.
Right, don't freak out.
Hey, Kelly, we just simply don't see that contract. Did she not send it?
Yeah, I did. I sent it to you.
Well, send it. Do me a favor. Send it direct.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. We've got a lot going on. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Marc Mager. He happens to be in studio today, and I really appreciate him doing this for Vinat. She's got a big hole in her house. Suzanne put the pictures up on our YouTube stream. It looks horrible. I mean, these guys, you guys are telling me it's not probably as bad as it looks because it's mostly what, Mark? Just drywall insulation.
Drywall and insulation. I mean, I'm assuming the frame will still be good. We still need to get it dried out, though, so we don't get mold.
Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on.
And get the leak to stop. And
so these guys are going to handle that we're going to get rid of these old roofers, Vinod. I mean, you just can't deal with them. I want you to start ghosting him at this point. I'm going to send over. Can you get me that contract in a PDF? I mean, I understand you just took pictures of it with your phone, but there's no way you have a PDF available, or do you?
I may be able to. I can.
If you can get that, the only reason I say that is I want to send it over to our attorney, and I don't know how clear it is just with those pictures. We're going to do that anyhow. In fact, Suzanne, I'll send it to you if you'd get it over to Brad O'Brien. Let's have him eyeball it. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to get all your information. Kelly is. Mark, you're going to contact her after the show, and we're going to figure out a game plan to move on. We're going to get the attorney involved, though, Vinod, and get some legal advice on what to do if this other company wants to start doing something. But, guys, I mean, if you look at the contract, can you shed any information, Matt?
yeah, I mean, Matt and I both can look at the contract and give us an
okay,
eyeball
let's
view.
do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So let's get her on hold. We'll free up line one, Kelly. Make sure we have all her information. Mark's going to reach out to her. These two are going to eyeball the contract in the next few minutes, and we're also going to send it over to our attorney, our Brad O'Brien. So let's... Vinod, you're in good hands. Hold tight. 303-713-8255. Len, you've been holding for a while. And Joseph, I did see your bank statement, so I'm going to get back to you in a minute. I know you're facing eviction tomorrow. Len, what's going on with you?
Okay, I had my driveway resurfaced, and when they first finished it, it looked pretty good. But after a day or so, when it dried up, it started crumbling and looking bad.
Hey, Len, tell me the procedure. Well, Len, hold on. Help me out here. Tell me the procedure they did. Was it, so you had the driveway done. Was it spalling? What was the initial problem you were trying to get rid of? Or it was just old and fading, or what?
It was spalding.
Okay.
And, and looking bad. And
so these guys came out, and what was their idea of fixing it? Did they sand it down, then try to put a fresh layer of concrete? What did they do?
Well, they pressure washed it. And I didn't expect it to look like brand new. I just wanted it to look better.
Len, hold on a second. Is that all they did was pressure wash it?
Yes.
And it started chipping away?
Yeah. Now, a lot of it is okay, but there's spots in it that's crumbling away.
Mark, you do a lot. Hold on a second, Len. Mark, you do a lot of work. You've hired a lot of concrete companies in your day. I know it. So what would you do? Forget about his circumstance. I'm saying if you took a power washer to cement someone's patio and it started having pieces getting removed, how would you possibly fix that?
Well, I mean, there are getting some better and better products out there to patch concrete and
like
driveways.
that.
Yes. But if it's crumbling while you're power washing, maybe you should stop power washing.
Yeah, I know.
And just stop.
Len, could you send us a picture of what it looks like right now?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'm 81 years old.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not real good on the computer.
Fair enough.
Doing stuff like that.
So did you call back this guy that power washed it? And who was it, by the way? Don't tell me it was like a neighbor kid. Who was it?
Oh, no. It's, you want the name of the company?
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay, it's Mile High Concrete and Landscaping.
And did they end up, so when it started chipping and chunking, did they continue or did they stop, as best as you know?
Well, it didn't chip only when they was pressure washing it. It's just now that it's done, and we had it done on 6/6.
No, wait a minute.
This year.
Len, so just to clarify, they did it, then a few days later it started crumbling?
Yeah.
How does that happen, gentlemen? That doesn't make sense to me.
It sounds like it sounds like they put something on top.
They didn't. Did they put anything on top of it?
Yeah, it's they called it a sealer adhesive, a concrete adhesive sealer.
Right, and if you don't get it thick enough, it doesn't hold up.
Pro concrete or something like that.
Oh my God, this sounds horrible. What area of town are you in?
I'm in Aurora.
Oh, that's not too
Right
bad.
there by Fitzsimmons.
I'm trying to think who I could send out there to eyeball it. What do these guys say when you call them now?
You can't get a hold of him. He doesn't return any calls.
What's his name?
Customer service is bad.
What's his name?
Josh McMillan.
Josh McMillan, and apparently he's the owner of, I want to get this right, Mile High Concrete and Landscaping?
Yeah.
Do you have Josh's phone number?
I've got a couple of different phone
numbers. All right,
numbers
here's
here.
what I want you to do. I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to give those to Kelly. I would like to reach out and see if they're willing to do anything. I want to give them the opportunity first to figure out if they're going to handle their own problem. Now, once again, I'm not even quite sure, and this is truly Mark Szymanski. This is really where I would like your advice. If this happened to you guys, you're out there power washing something, this exact thing, and it starts crumbling, or you put the epoxy down or whatever this coating is they're putting down, and a few days later it starts doing this, did they do, first question, based just purely on what we know on this call, and Len, did they do anything wrong?
Well, there's a good chance. Okay, they power washed. Was it dry before you start putting something on? Because if it's not dry, moisture's going to start coming up, and it's going to pop whatever you put on top.
I got it. So if he laid the cover down over wet cement, that could have caused the crumbling.
Right.
I didn't even think of that.
And then the other thing is it a thick enough profile that it can actually hold on? Because, you can't put a real thin layer of concrete. It's just going to come off.
You basically got to follow whatever instructions it comes with.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what we've got to determine.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the only reason. I mean, really, the moisture is the only reason you can think of that it would crack days later.
Well, yeah. I mean, moisture's trying to come up.
And it can't.
Right.
It's trapped in between a hard surface.
Right, and it's not going to let it adhere.
So it's going to crack what's under it because it's older and more brittle.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Len, hold tight. I want you to give Kelly the phone number to this Josh McMillan. We're going to try to reach out, see if he'll come on for a comment, try to get something from him. So hold tight. You hold tight, man. I want to help you out. 81 years old, paid for this, looks like a bad job. I want to help this guy out, and that is what this show's about.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Well, our drive overall looking pretty good out here, unless you're northbound 225. They're still cleaning up that wreck in between Mississippi and Alameda. Got the right lane blocked up, 3 left lanes now getting through, and we're seeing backups in there to Isla. So a good idea to have an extra 5 to 10 minutes on hand. There are tow trucks on scene. They'll have that pulled out of there before too long. Also in that area, there is a crash at Mississippi and Sable just off the highway. Both sides of I-25, a little heavy heading across downtown, but overall we're looking good up and down the I-25 corridor. Denver weather today, partly cloudy skies with some afternoon thunder showers. We're going to shoot for a high of 88. It's 76 now. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
Jay and Henry Bretts, they own Excel Roofing. Jay's been around in this neck of the woods for 25, 30 years. Excel Roofing is known all over the state. These guys do such a great job. When they did our roof, we went with a hail-proof roof. It's actually called F-Wave, F-Wave. You can look it up. It's a synthetic plastic. That allowed us to actually up our deductible to a lot higher. Therefore, our insurance price went down. But I don't worry about hail anymore. We have protection. It's not just a Class 4 shingle. You got to look at it. Look at F-Wave. But these guys do all kinds of roofs. They do commercial. They do residential. They can do standard asphalt. They can do F-Wave. They can do anything that has to do with roofing and gutters, and they're the best at it. I love Jay. I love the guys. Their warranties are great. If you sign a contract with them and change your mind, they'll never hold you to the contract. They're good, honest people. That's the best way to put it. Check them out at excelroofing.com, excelroofing.com. That's excelroofing.com. Now, fix it 24/7. How about if you have a plumbing problem, an electrical problem, or an HVAC problem, to get a technician out to your house? You ready for this? You got to mention the show. $39. They'll come out and they'll check out any problem, give you an estimate on it for $39. Imagine that, a licensed technician to your house for $39. I don't know anybody else that does it. They've been around for years. We've known George for, my goodness, 20 years plus. You got to check him out. FixMyHome.com. FixMyHome.com.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny.
It's raining inside.
Pipes burst, but we're covered with renter's insurance from Smart Bunny.
Get up to $100,000 of personal liability coverage and up to $40,000 of contents insurance for as low as $15 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app for some renter's insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
How do you preserve your wealth and live the lifestyle you've always wanted to? Tune in to the Asset Prevention Hour with Stuart Willis weekly here on 630 KHOW, Saturday mornings at 9.
Did you know Master Services can save you a minimum of 30% on sewer line replacement? Michael Brown here. Master Services are the folks I personally use. They've been on Martino's referral list for over 20 years, and they have new AC systems starting at under $3,000. Great service, open 24/7, and the guaranteed lowest pricing on plumbing and HVAC. Go online to masterservices.plumbing. That's masterservices.plumbing, or call 720-434-3406. Tell them Michael Brown sent you.
Hi, it's Mandy Connell. Join my friends Gary Bell and Brad Pollock for the Bell and Pollock Legal Show right here on KHOW every Saturday morning at 7. It's a live call-in show to give Coloradans like you free legal advice on any topic you'd like to discuss with them.
Do you know what you will never hear when using Frank Duran, the real estate man?
No gimmicks, no fluff, and no play on words. Your best interest is what's important to me.
That's Frank, and he guarantees results.
I back you up with a true written performance guarantee.
Backed by a team of experts, but he oversees every deal.
I'm with you every step of the way.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622 with RE/MAX Alliance.
Don't trust your biggest financial investment with just anyone.
Shannon goes, not long.
And I always go, well, maybe a couple good years if you're lucky.
Poor Tom, we beat him up. Or I don't.
Oh, he gives it back to you, though.
Shit.
I'm the apple of his eye around these parts.
Well, that's true. She gets all the grace. Oh my God, 285 emails.
Let me just tell you,
Oh.
QuickBooks. It's no, I mean, this is, Mark, it's just, hate QuickBooks, hate Zoho.
Zoho.
QuickBooks Online.
What's Zoho?
Zoho is like QuickBooks.
I just made the mistake of my life this year and thought I would switch to Zoho Books, and it's not working, so I'm switching back. It's just a nightmare if you try to switch accounting software.
We're QuickBooks too at the office.
What's that?
We're QuickBooks too.
QuickBooks
You have
desktop
online or
online?
desktop?
It's online now.
Yeah.
I don't think you get a desktop anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, I didn't think so either. That's why I was doing all this switching, only to find out I could. So they're just...
Which sucks.
Just, it's a night. It's
It
just
was
been-
fake news is what started it.
It's just been really...
I can't believe you're wearing a shroom shirt.
It's from Target. It was like $7. It's all the different mushrooms. It's not those kind of...
Yeah, man.
Far out, man.
Far out,
It's not the
man.
tripping shrooms.
Not the deadhead.
Yeah. All right, 303-713-8255. I looked over and saw my gorgeous wife is wearing a mushroom shirt. Not sure what that means.
It's from Target, Mark. It was $7.
So it's not the magic mushrooms we hear
No,
about.
it's just like if you just different mushrooms
Okay.
you can go hunting for.
Fair enough. Hey, Kelly, did we happen to try to get the contractor that went out and was attempting to fix Len's driveway, kind of resurface it from Mile High Concrete and Landscaping, Josh McMillan? Kelly? Kelly?
Please leave a message at the tone.
I don't know what quite to say about that. Suzanne, would you run in there and try to call them for me? Be a peach. 303-713-8255. Okay, we're going to, Len, just hold tight. I want to try to get them on. We're going to try to find someone. Oh, I know who could go out and look. Suzanne, you know who could do that is Bob. Let's get Bob, LEM Landscaping. He is always great at going out and looking at jobs. He does concrete. Maybe he can fix it. He can also let us know how bad this job was, but I do want to try to reach out to this contractor first, hear his side, this Josh McMillan. I do want to hear his side. I don't want to bust a vein over this right now, but I do want to see what this guy, if he's willing to come on the air, why he's ghosting Len. Len, by the way, when you say he's ghosting you, how long has it been? When's the last message you left with him?
Well, probably the last time I talked to him was back about 6/6 of this year.
6/6. And when is the first time it started getting real bad and you reached out?
That's when he did the job. He called and asked me to give the final payment to one of the fellas that was
there
doing the job. He never did come back and look at the job once he did it.
And then you called a few days later, and he's yet to return your phone call.
I've called him several times and asked him, to just let me know.
All right,
what his
I
plan
got
on
you.
fixing it is.
I got you. We're trying to call. You know what? It would be nice at least if these contractors, and in my opinion, this guy, well, okay, I'll be honest. I think he sucks. Right now, the main reason I think he sucks is, according to Len, he can't even return a call. I'd much rather someone say, hey, look, it's an old driveway. We tried to fix it. Give them something. But to simply ghost them, never communicate, never come look at the finished job is absolutely crazy. I mean, how bad can customer service be? It really is nuts. I do have one line open, by the way, 303-713-8255. Now, I'm going to go back to Joseph. Joseph, I looked at your banking information. It's a bad deal.
Investigating efforts to infiltrate President.
I got it. The guy's listening to something there. Joseph, I'm going to try you again in a second, but I'm going to recap real quick. Joseph called in yesterday. He's getting evicted tomorrow. He got basically bamboozled out of $38,000, according to him. He did withdraw it from the bank. I'm not sure if this statement is 100% real, but I'm starting to think he did withdraw a lot of money from the bank. It was $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, then $8,000 something, which was the remainder of his bank account at that time. He hasn't paid his mortgage for 3 months. He doesn't have a job. He's going to have the sheriff there tomorrow. We can try to pull him up later. I don't know how to help him now. He's sitting there listening to a Trump rally or something. Jose, what is going on with you, Jose?
So I had hail damage May 30th, roof, siding, couple windows. I still haven't gotten anything from the insurance. They say they're still working on it. They're still investigating.
What insurance company is it?
American Family.
You know, I'm not going to say anything about American Family because I've never used them, but I'm going to ask Matt, who deals with insurance companies all the time. Let's say 1 to 10. Who's the best, being number 10 in your brain? The easiest to deal with.
Amica and Acuity are the best.
They're the best. So
now,
let's call
Chubb is great, but that's $1 million homes and beyond.
Got it. So let's say there's your upper echelon. What's the lower piece of crap insurance you got to deal with generally?
American Family.
American Family.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. Now,
so my problem is that it got the siding in the front of the house and the roof. They're not saying anything about the roof, just the siding. My contractor says I have interstate roofing. He says the siding is not available anymore, so he said that basically they have to pay to re-side the whole house. But American Family told me that no, that they're only going to pay for the front of the house.
Jose, you need a public adjuster. I don't care what anybody says out there listening. I'm going to tell you what Matt does for a living. It is exactly what you need right now. And I'm going to tell you something else when you mention those windows. I found something out about windows. It's kind of remarkable. They don't have to break. You can get hit with hail on them, and they can go around that seam. And if it's a dual pane, triple pane, that window is ruined. I mean, guys, is that not correct?
That's true. And, if the frame
of the window is dented,
Yep.
then that window goes. If the, like you said, if it's been compromised between the panes and it's holding moisture, that's got to go.
New window.
Now, some windows have just a replaceable beading.
That's different.
That's different.
Here's the bottom line, Jose. They're a roofer. I've heard of Interstate Roofing. I think they're one of the largest roofers in the country. I had an issue with them years ago, but they never did any work. It wasn't with the quality of work. I didn't like their tactics. Their delay stuff was bad, but I got out of the contract. But we don't get a lot of complaints on Interstate. We just simply don't. You probably already signed a contract with them. You're going to end up using them. What Matt would do is come out and find and source the other damage. Now, Matt and Mark chime in here, too. If his contract says they're going to do every bit of the scope of work there, and then a public adjuster gets involved, how does that work? Because they might claim that they get that 10% overhead and profit, for example, because they were there first. But the problem is there's no movement from the insurance company. They don't know what to do. This poor guy has been sitting there for 4 or 5 months with nothing done.
Right. So I would say, if this Interstate Roofing can do windows and siding, they're probably locked in and doing the whole job. What I would do is talk with them, talk to their project manager, and make sure that he understands if I step in, I got to be paid.
Yep.
And, that's got to come out of the overhead and profit or directly from the homeowner, whatever that looks like. Yeah, it's just a conversation.
Yeah, I understand all that. Nothing has been a major issue. It's just that the insurance company is saying that because the siding is not made anymore, that they don't really care about that.
Jose, I swear to God. Listen, you just said you understand everything. No, you don't, because what we just said was that's what Matt does. Matt gets involved. He becomes basically power of attorney for you. He goes to your insurance company and says, guys, why are you dragging your feet? We can't get it anymore. You got to pay for the entire house. And he makes them do it. He reads the language in the damn contract and holds your feet to the fire. Matt, is that not what your life goal is?
Yeah, absolutely. The issue with Colorado, having said all that, is it's not a matching state, but if we can prove through a system called ITEL that it is absolutely not available, we can push for whole house replacement.
That's what you need right now. Interstate Roofing is not going to be able to force your insurance company to pay for stuff that's not available anymore. You need someone like Matt. That's what he does for a living. Jose, I promise you, I'm just frustrated because I thought I was explaining that properly. Do you get it? That is literally what Matt does. He would call up, talk to the GM or whoever you deal with at Interstate, Matt would have a conversation with, and they together will figure out how to go forward and tackle this piece of crap insurance company that keeps putting you off. That's the whole gig, man.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's how it works. And I'm going to put you, hold on, we're going to put you on hold. Kelly, get his information. Get it to Matt. Jose, I appreciate the call. You worked me up a little bit, but I hate insurance companies. Honest to God, I hate them. I'm going to tell everybody, including Jose, what Matt did for me, okay? How many years ago was the roof? 4? I don't know, 5?
About 4, yeah.
And what did they offer me at first?
I think big old 0.
0. They said, Mark, you don't have any damage. I'm looking around, neighbors getting a roof, other neighbors getting a roof. How much did you get me?
Somewhere over 70.
Over $70,000. These morons said I had no damage. Matt got involved, they get $70,000. Now, when I had the other hail issue, 8 months ago, a year ago, whatever it's been, what did they tell me?
Another 0.
Another right? 0. Mark, sorry, you don't have coverage for that. What did you get me? Well, where do you think it'll land? 50?
We're sitting at, I think, 16 to 20 right now, but we're moving that into the appraisal process. Yep. So probably, yeah, we could get it up to 40 to 50.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you have homeowners insurance, and Dr. Joel, you have a home, you've probably dealt with bad claims, insurance companies and everybody correct me. I mean, honestly, have you ever met an adjuster that comes out and adjusts up? I mean, really, just adjusts up, walks around your house and says, oh, sir, we're definitely going to get your roof, but I want to point out some damage to your deck over here. Or that tree, that brand new, beautiful apple tree you planted, it's destroyed. And then the cement, the hail was so big, it chunked the cement over here. And then look at your siding and your paint and everything. Do you think any adjuster comes out and does that?
Nope.
None.
Yeah, you got to have representation if you want that number to go up.
There is so many people right now, with all the hail we had this year, and even last year. Mark, wasn't last year worse than this year in general, guys?
Oh, by far. That spring, it just hit with storm after storm after storm. But prior to that was 4 years with no hail.
No hail.
Right.
How long do people have, guys, in general, to file a claim?
1 year.
1 year. If you have not had your roof checked, your siding checked, or if you have a claim open right now, you cannot not call these guys. I don't care if you call Matt with Paragon or call Mark. These guys kind of work together, but what you need to do is have it checked. If it happened within the last year, you can have it checked now. Now, what happens if they do have a roof claim and the roof was done, they got their final check, Matt, but then like their neighbor comes over or a guy like you and says, hey, look, those windows should have been replaced with that, or the siding should have been done, or at least we should have painted the house. Those kind of things. Can you reopen the same claim?
Yeah, you can reopen a claim up to 2 years, usually, depending on the policy language. But, yeah, it's never quite closed until that time expires.
Until the statute's up.
Right. And so, yeah, all the time I get people that the insurance company paid for the roof, but I go out and I say, look, they should have paid for your paint, your deck, your windows.
Everything.
Yeah, and that's why me and Mark Szymanski work together so well, because he's got all these project managers that basically are my eyes and ears. If they're out at the property, they feed me the data, and then I go after the insurance company.
Guys, I can't, everybody listening out there, this is what this show's about, it's education. That's why I wanted these guys in. With the hail from last year and this year, if you haven't had it checked out, you got to get that claim in within a year. If you do have an open claim and all you're getting is a roof, I'm telling you, they owe you a lot more. That's all I can say. They're never going to tell you. They're not going to tell you about the paint job. They're not going to tell you about the fence that got beat up by the hail. They're not going to tell you about the windows. They're not going to tell you. You got to have someone out there that knows. 303-713-8255. Make sure we get Jose's information. Then Rachel's got a problem with a mechanic. Len, hey, Kelly, real quick, did we try to reach out to that contractor? Any luck there?
All three numbers are disconnected.
Oh, crap. All three numbers. Can we get Bob with LEM up? I want to ask him to at least go out there and figure out how to fix this mess. I am so sick and tired of bad contractors. I mean, really, I just don't even know what to do. My tongue gets tied. I mean, I wish I could cuss on the radio.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Revive.
What?
Contract.
80-20?
Yeah, I mean, you get a great contractor. How rare is that? You happen to know a lot of them because of the referral list.
I know. That's where you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
If you're out there in the blind, just calling, hey, can you come paint my house?
Oh, I missed that one. Dang it.
Guy working out of his truck.
I got one a couple days ago. They had 5 houses in one neighborhood, and he's taking did the roofs.
I don't know about that one. I didn't hear what they said. Sorry.
How about that? Did you guys see on the news this morning that apartment getting emptied out this morning? All these people, like, they've got mattresses and trashes everywhere. It looks like the homeless encampment.
Is this in Denver?
Aurora. It looked like but it wasn't. It was literally an apartment building that there's 2 stories. One, it got condemned. One, it's some mafia living out of there, or some gang running the joint. All right, I need to tell you about Red Rocks Roof and Solar. I promise you, the one thing Brooke, the owner, can do better than anybody I know is find the money. If you have a commercial building and want to put solar on it, she has done things for callers to where it is 100% paid for. 100% free system after she gets the grants written and the tax credits free. We have some out there she's done that is producing power and making the owner money every single month. Think about that. And they got the solar system for free. I want you to call up, ask Brooke all about it. Then if you have a house and you want a solar system, she'll beat anybody's price out there. And on top of that, if you have an older solar system or even a new one, and those people have skipped town and you need work done on it, they will work on any solar system out there. They have got great service. Everything's in-house, great sales. You get the idea. Check them out at redrocksrs.com. Red Rocks RS, as in roofandsolar.com. redrocksrs.com. Become the banker. Listen to this. Let's say you put $250,000 in an annuity right now, but you got to have the right one, and that's what Joe is going to figure out for you. He's going to talk to you, but the one I like that they have is a 15% bonus that starts instantly. So think about that. Not only is that $250 in there, and you can roll that over from a 401k, but let's say you put that in. I'm just using numbers that we've talked about. Let's say you put that in when you're 50 years old. When you're 65, you decide you want to start turning on that income from that annuity. Remember, you put $250 in, you get 15% to grow with instantly. You can turn that $200,000, $300,000 by the time you're 65 years old to $3,000 to $4,000 a month till the day you die. Think about that. $3,000 to $4,000 a month every month till the day you die. Guaranteed. That's the part I like. Joe is a fiduciary. He's always going to steer you right. We've been talking about Joe and the gang down there forever, but go to mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com. Give him a call. You can talk to him over the phone. You can talk to him in person, whatever you want to do. They're great people. mymoneymyway.com.
I know.
Are you trying to get Bob?
That one, Jarrett. Yeah. I think it was his name. I hope I continue to hope that they change the
Kelly, I know you're talking, but I can't hear you. I don't know why. I'm in offline. Talk again. I got nothing. You know, it's incredible. I can't talk to her. I can be at home and hear her and talk to her the entire time.
Or in your motorhome.
But when I'm right here, I can't talk to her. It's fucking phenomenal, actually. Yeah, I can be in my motorhome, cruising down the road, literally doing the show, and talk to her on every break. But when I'm 8 feet from her, I can't fucking communicate. It's wild, man. It's wild, baby.
We're doing Mitch's house right now.
I love Mitch.
It's cool.
He's doing a bang-up job, man, for us.
Am I getting compass for Jose? Because I was trying to mess around with the contractor calls.
But he can't get it. I mean, all those are bad, right? Yeah, so how come I can't hear you in there? Because I saw you trying to talk to me.
Oh, let me see what the heck she wanted. She just walked over to yell at Mark, which is a very common thing. But she'll be right back.
All right.
No, it's just, okay.
Just
Am
right.
I getting compass for Jose?
No, you're not.
Then Len.
Jose, I need his Jose. Email me his phone number and address.
Oh, and his address.
Yes,
Okay.
and then I'm going to have Matt reach out to him.
Okay. And then.
I would like Bob on though, so I can get rid of Len and free that line.
He's not answering. It's going straight to voicemail.
Perfect. Then I still will get rid of Len. Free. I'll figure that out.
Okay. All right.
Cool. You want some crutches?
Stop.
We might have a cane behind the mini fridge.
You know what?
Well, that's nice of me.
I have an ice pack on. I'm fine.
Is she injured?
She was watching swimming. I'm not making this up. Olympic swimming, diving, I believe. And she was a diver in college. And one of the divers in the Olympics hurt themselves on the dive. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it. And because that happened, it possibly, Kelly, if you can talk, you saw the swimmer get hurt during the Olympics, and then all of a sudden your leg started hurting. Is that correct?
What?
You were telling me about your injury.
No, I thought it was psychosomatic at first.
Yeah, she thought it was psychosomatic because the diver, and you were a diver, right?
Yes, and a gymnast.
And a gymnast.
Yeah.
So
Looks like she's hobbling around pretty bad.
She's hobbling, but that is the well.
Now, obviously, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Long.
Oh, you mean her
Yeah.
being an actual diver?
Yes.
Kiss my ass,
I mean, if
Shannon.
you had to guess, Shannon, are
Yeah.
you thinking like,
Reagan?
I don't know, 40, 50 years?
Uh-oh. We're already back.
You're back to leave?
I pulled a Tom.
Well, yeah.
I pulled a Tom. Do I have 30 seconds or no?
Who the hell is on 6?
Bob.
All right, listen, we got a lot going on. Rachel, Len, Joseph, Jose, everybody hold tight. A lot more coming up.
How can I help you? Hey, yeah. So I
Yes,
tried to call you. We
psychosomatic.
have Len on the phone who has a bad.
Dr. Joel, let me ask you something.
All right.
So
hang on
if you
through the
hit
break.
offline,
Hang
show
on.
them the offline button.
All
Same
right.
with you. If you hit offline here,
Yay.
then we can hear Kelly
You're not listening.
in the other room. What is it?
They can't. Oh my God.
They can't, but he can. He can.
I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have them.
He can.
All we have is on and off and cough.
Okay, but yeah, you can with those right there.
These?
Yes, Mark can. And I'll hit offline here. So, Dr. Joel, if I'm watching a weightlifter
Better.
and I'm a weightlifter,
With the
or I was a
ice.
weightlifter 30, 40 years ago,
But it's not
50 years ago,
cold anymore. So now
maybe
I'm
60
gonna
years
have
ago.
to-
So I see this weightlifter like get injured during the Olympics and they break an arm. Is it possible that my arm can be broke as well? And I would be walking around with my arm because I was a weightlifter 60 years ago. Is that possible?
I mean, I would go so far as to say that psychosomatic pain and injuries are real.
Yep.
And I'd stop at that point.
So it could be. It could happen.
Theoretically, lots of things could happen. But
Okay.
Psychosomatic injuries are real. They're not to be dismissed as mental illness.
Okay. But isn't isn't that a mental illness if it's psychosomatic?
I mean, it's well, that's like
Is it fair to say Kelly's crazy?
no.
No. Kelly, the doctor says you're not crazy. It can happen.
I will give you $1 million.
I think she's in there cussing and mumbling my name. That is an interesting story, though, right? Wouldn't you admit?
Yeah.
You're watching the Olympics. You see a diver. You used to be a diver. Get her leg hurt. Maybe even broke it. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, you have that pain.
It can happen.
I could see pain, but not an actual break. I mean,
Right.
Now that would
we're-
be impressive.
Now we're on mushrooms.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Psychosomatic pain is real, and I'll leave it at that. I mean, going past, actual physical manifestation of a broken bone.
That's a whole
I
different-
don't know how that would happen. That's a traumatic injury.
We had a guy.
But I wouldn't discount anything. I've seen weird stuff happen.
We got a guy on the referral list. Great guy. His name is Tom. He owns an automotive shop. Is it hands-on? No. It is hands-on. Yeah. Great guy. He got in a bad wreck. How long's it been, babe? 4 years? 5?
During COVID or right before COVID.
Yeah.
Something like that.
4 or 5 years. He gets in a horrible wreck out in the middle of nowhere east and loses his leg.
Oh, man.
And I mean from like kneecap up gone. I mean, not like right to his, say, hip, but I mean, he not much at all. When he talked about the phantom pain a year later, it's pretty crazy thinking about that. The leg is no longer there, but he literally would feel phantom pain from it. And that's
a different thing, though, because those nerve endings are still in there.
So they basically think
So
the
it's-
leg's there.
It's basically your brain not understanding that the leg's gone, but the nerve endings are still there. So you can still sense as if there is still a limb there because the nerve endings are still there.
Is
It's
that,
just your
is that
brain.
forever, or does that go away after time?
It depends. Some people have it some people never have it at all. Some people have it for long periods of time. There is therapy that can be done to that.
Is it more of a reprogramming of the brain?
It's I don't have detailed knowledge of it, but I know it involves like electrical stimulation of those nerves and kind of getting your brain to not react to phantom pain.
Theoretically, I know we are not here now, but stem cells, let's say 100 years down the line or whatever. I mean, it might not even be stem cells at that point. But do you see ever the possibility of losing an entire limb and being able to grow an arm or grow a leg or whatever?
I don't know about an entire limb, but sure, potentially. I don't see why not. I mean, stem cells turn into everything in your body.
That's crazy.
So if they can find a way to stimulate those stem cells to create a new leg, I believe somewhere down the road, science will allow us to do that. We can already do that with organs. We can do that with kidneys. We can do that
So
with...
you can grow a liver?
We can do that, yeah. We here in the United States can't, but they do that.
They grow livers.
They grow livers, yeah.
All right, good. Remember when it was a big deal, guys, where they had, what was that sheep
All
they
right,
cloned?
Jose, we're going to go ahead
Dolly.
and
That was crazy thinking about it. I mean, that had to be, what, 30 years ago or something? But now you never hear of cloning anymore. Where do you think we are on there? Do you think in China they can, like, take a kid and make a kid?
I believe it's already being done, clandestinely all over the world.
That's crazy.
That's just my own personal belief. I have
Yeah,
no
yeah. In
evidence
other
of
words,
that.
the technology's there.
Technology's been there for decades.
That's crazy.
So 83.
I wouldn't mind having a twin. You could hang them in the closet. You need an arm.
It would
Got an arm.
help my business tremendously if I could clone myself.
Yeah, I know. It all would, wouldn't it be?
Doesn't
Well,
Putin-
talk about the
Sorry,
human
you're
rights, though.
breaking
Do they
up.
have human
I
rights
don't know
if you
have
made
me
them?
on a speakerphone or not.
I assume so.
We'll get to that, I'm sure, at some point.
Let's ask Elon Musk. He
yeah,
could answer that question.
Bluetooth don't really.
Same. It's worse.
We'll try. Spell your street name.
Did you see that movie Multiplicity?
Yes. Is it underground?
No, it's
Oh.
Michael Keaton
Okay,
clones himself
Counter Street,
3 times, and then he clones a clone, and he
Counter
comes
Drive,
out
and
all
The
whacked
clone's
out.
clone.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Henderson, Colorado.
I watched one where they were harvesting clones underground for rich people. And then these people basically just, they ate and they went to school underground. And that's all they ever knew. They knew nothing else. They didn't have parents. They just listened to the people in red or whatever it was. And then you really don't know what's going on. And then finally one breaks out and figures out, oh my God, there's another one of me. I'm a clone. And that's what this whole thing is underneath.
So the clones were put down there as babies, so they have
They were grown down there.
So they had no prior knowledge of anything up top.
Anything up top.
Okay.
Man, that's heavy.
I will pass
It
this
is
along.
heavy. And
Thanks so
the
much for
crazy
calling.
part was they would go through,
All
and
right.
when they would
You too.
graduate,
Bye-bye.
they'd get to go to a different world. And they all look forward to going to a different world. But the different world was.
Like heaven.
Yeah, well, whatever. But no, the different world is where they, started giving up their body parts for their human up
they were
above.
harvested.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
with
that's
this?
when they would
This is the
be
other
killed,
thing.
basically.
What is he doing?
I wasn't here. I don't know.
Did Kelly tell you about her leg injury?
What? You talking?
Yes, sir. Ask Kelly about her leg injury.
What?
It was beautiful. She came in this morning. She's like, I'm not happy. So I said, are you grumpy, sad, dopey, sneezy, sleepy?
So you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, say it with me, take complaints. Try to make your life a little bit better. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. We want to help you. I want to finish up with Joseph now. Rachel's got an issue with a mechanic, Len. Actually, let me free this line open. By the way, you want to get through to the show, you can do it. I'll always let you know when a line's open. Right now, we do have one, 303 Martino. 303 Martino in studio with me. He just walked in the door, but Brian Burns with Compass Insurance. These are guys Suzanne and I have used forever, Tom's used forever. Dr. Joel Chernak. In fact, Dr. Joel Chernak just did a procedure on Tom about 2.5 months ago, and you can check out exactly what he had done at denverhairclinic.com. But we kind of exposed that story today, that you guys did that, and Tom's starting to grow hair. I mean, simple as that.
Yep. He spoke to me last week.
Is
and
he
said
happy?
He was surprised.
Was he really?
And I'm surprised that he was surprised.
Well,
because
okay, I'm going to tell you why, and hopefully he doesn't mind me saying this. Years ago, and I don't know how many years ago, but I would say maybe 10, somewhere around 2015-ish, he had a procedure done, and it did nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Well, I know another concern that he had, and this is actually to the benefit of our patients, is that our procedure, like I said, that first time you're in and out in an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
The one he did years ago, I assure you, it was not like that.
No, nothing is as fast as what we're doing right now. Because
Nothing.
we just need to put those materials in the scalp and
How
the
about
process
women?
starts. Same thing.
Doesn't matter. Works
No.
just the same.
And on that point,
so
we
if
can
a woman's
also,
starting to thin out, you can thicken up that hair.
right, not just that. We get a lot of women that, in the 80s and 90s, they plucked out all their eyebrows, and now they want their eyebrows back. And we do eyebrow hair transplant.
Wait a minute.
And beard as well.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm naive here. How do you not have... I've never seen anybody where they naturally fall out. You're saying eyebrows
No.
can naturally fall out?
She knows what I'm talking about. So, cosmetically, what women did in the 80s and 90s was to pluck out their eyebrows to make them thin.
And once you pluck them out, they don't come back?
Over time,
They're gone.
They're gone. So we have women call into us that say, "I lost my eyebrows. I've had to draw them in with makeup and whatever."
Now they want them back.
Now they want, and we
And
can
you
do that.
can do that.
We can do that. We do a hair transplant from the little hairs from the back of their head,
And it works.
and it works just like any other hair transplant.
And it looks like eyebrows.
And it looks like eyebrows.
God, that's amazing.
Yep.
That really is amazing.
So that's a whole nother niche that we take care of.
Well, we're
is
going to
that.
follow Tom's, from the procedure going forward. Every couple months, I want to start putting pictures up. Get with him. Let's make sure he's okay with it. It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
DenverHairClinic.com.
Correct.
I think that would be a great idea, and people can see it. I want to ask you something, then we're going to hop to the phones. I'm a little different than Tom. I believe in asking people and pricing. There's a lot of times we have advertisers in, and you guys are all great people, everybody in here. But I really do like putting pencil to paper. We're talking about hair restoration, and you can be mad at me if you want, but give people an idea. If they've got a bald spot, I don't even know how you look at it. Like the size of a fist. I don't know. Whatever is average, if there is such a thing. How does that work? How much does it cost? Generally, I realize everybody can be a little different, but what?
Well, let me put it this way. If you go to any clinic and do a hair transplant procedure, you're looking at anywhere from $12,000 to $16,000 to $18,000.
Oh, that's why there's so many bald people walking
Right.
around. Honest to God, that's why. I mean, $16,000 in order to take care of a bald spot. I mean, most people aren't going to do it.
Right. So our procedure, just the stem cell procedure for small balding areas and to replenish thinning hair, $6,900.
$6,900 all in.
Yeah. If we do the full hair transplant like they do at other clinics, we're charging $14,000, but that also includes the $6,900 stem cell procedure.
So it's both. Where the
It's
other
both.
place you're just getting that.
You're just getting the transplant.
And I want to say something, guys, about Dr. Joe. I'm going to bring up something else he does, and I get calls about it. Oh, my God, weekly. The weight loss drug.
Right.
Ozempic.
Semaglutide and tirzepatide.
Those are the generics.
Yeah.
And what you have done, you found a compounding pharmacy. They take the active ingredients in whichever one of those meds.
Right.
They create basically a drug for you and your clients.
Right. Ship it directly to you.
And ship it directly.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually do a Zoom with you and get the prescription.
Right,
In
that's
other
how it
words,
works.
you don't even have to go in.
No, most of our patients don't. And that's
all over the country.
All over the country. And that's through Denver Regenerative Medicine. That's
Yeah.
denverregen.com.
Yeah, denverregen.com. But listen to this. How much do you think, I don't know if any of you guys know how much that typically costs, this weight loss drug. Does anybody know what, like even insurances don't cover it typically unless if it's for diabetic needs. They won't cover it for weight loss. That's still correct, right?
I believe Mounjaro is approved for weight loss, but you're still talking.
No, not approved for it. I'm saying, does the insurance cover it for weight loss?
I believe Mounjaro does.
That's incredible.
But you're still, a huge out-of-pocket cost, more than what you would pay with us anyway.
And how much do you guys pay all in per month?
So
That includes the shots, the prescription, everything.
Everything. So for the semaglutide, which is the same drug that's in Ozempic and Wegovy, we charge $275 a month. I don't know anybody else that's
There
doing it
is
for that.
nobody. $275 a month. And the reason I brought that up, you kind of were the first one in town to do this. You really were.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't know of anybody else that was doing the real deal that works. We hear from people every single month. every single month that monthly they're losing 15, 20 pounds. And they've been on it for 4 or 5 months. They've lost close to 50 pounds. It's incredible.
Right. And with us, you have a real medical doctor who's going to call you every month and follow up with you. I don't know any other clinic that does that.
$275 a month. It's absolutely crazy. But once again, that's denverregen.com.
Right.
My purpose in bringing that up, though, was the fact when you talk about denverhairclinic.com in your pricing, it is way better than what other people are doing, and it's a better product.
Well, we try to make things affordable for people, and we find that we get way more patients when we make it way more affordable.
Well, that's it, because a lot of people are
service.
They're fishing for 2 or 3 patients and way overcharging, if you will.
Yeah, that's not our business model.
Yeah, that's not your model. Your model is let's get a bunch of clients and save them a ton of money, but more importantly, let's get them to lose that weight or get them feeling better about themselves and what's ever going on with their hair.
And now I'll tell you, because of that, with the weight loss drug and how much we provide a service for people, most of our patients are now coming from referrals from patients that we've had.
I love it. All right, listen, Joseph, I looked at your account. I'm going to get people caught up real quick. Joseph told us he sent $38,000 to a scammer in cash. Yesterday, I didn't believe a damn word he was saying. He did send me a statement. I'm not going to say it looks perfect. It doesn't have the credit union name on it. It doesn't have a lot of stuff, but I don't think it was phonied up. Tell me how you got this statement.
I went down to the bank this morning and got it.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. If you said you got it online or anything else, I'd say no way, but I understand what they did. They actually took this date to that date and printed out all the activity in the account and then literally printed it out and handed it to you.
Yes.
Man, it looks like, well, I'll tell you everybody what the statement says. I can't put it up on our YouTube channel because your bank account, everything's on there, but it says 10,000 on the 5th, 10,000 on the 5th, 10,000 on the 6th, 8,000 and change on the 6th. So in 2 days, this poor guy withdrew almost $40,000. And then what did you do with that money?
I sent it UPS to the address they gave me. I thought it was legit, so I didn't write down the phone number or the address.
He didn't write down an address. This is where I'd love callers' input or YouTubers out there. Honest to God. Now, listen, Joseph, there's no doubt or a very low doubt you didn't pull out $40,000 in cash. I saw it. And I believe that's all. It's not phony baloney after you told me how you got it. I get it. So you definitely pulled it out. He's saying he grabbed that money. He wrapped it in tinfoil. He put it in an envelope. He addressed it, but he never wrote down the address, so he doesn't even know where he sent it. And
No, I don't.
And he sent it to someone that was investigating him for child porn. And they said...
They were investigating the account. It wasn't me.
Okay, they were investigating activity on his account that they were relating to child porn, right?
Yes, yes.
And they told him after the investigation is over, they were going to send you back the cash that you wrapped in tinfoil and sent, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, I've got to ask everybody in this room. Suzanne, I'm going to ask you first. I do believe the guy's getting evicted tomorrow, and I do know he withdrew. Long as that's his account, and it appears to be his name on it. He sent us his driver's license as well. So the driver's license, it looks legit. He withdrew 40. Do you think he wrapped it in tinfoil and sent it to somebody, not even writing down the address, thinking he was going to get it back?
It's extremely hard to believe, Mark.
It really is.
True.
Joseph, hold on. I just want opinions on this. Dr. Joel, I got to ask you, man. Seriously, you just heard the story. If you've got a question to ask him. But that's what do you make of this?
I've never heard anything like that before.
Do you think someone could do that?
I don't.
It's hard. It's really hard to suck down Mark Szymanski.
It's just so...
It's unbelievable.
It's weird. I mean, just why would somebody want your money wrapped in tinfoil, and why would you mail off cash?
I think that's what you're up against, Joseph. For the life of us, no one here. Let me ask this. Dragon, You've never not given me a straight answer. What do you make of this whole story? Did you hear it yesterday as
I was here
well?
for most of it yesterday. It's just so freakishly unbelievable that I'm sorry, Joseph, but that you believed it.
Sorry, too. My life is ruined at the moment. I'm going to be homeless tomorrow.
It's amazing. He sent us the apartment address. Matt, what do you think, man?
Well, the only thing that I can see is that these scammers were so good at scare tactic and so convincing. I mean, from my chair, that's hard to believe.
Well, that's what he's saying.
And he just got okie doked, and there's no way to get it back. And
No,
then the
there's
other thing
definitely
is,
no
too,
way to get
if
it
this
back.
was all your money, you said you were retired, gosh.
Brian?
Yeah, you hear stories like this, and you always think, how could you possibly believe that it's somebody that is legitimate that would ask for cash like that?
Do you think it happened, though?
It is hard to believe that someone would do that. Yeah, it's hard to believe that anybody would fall for that.
All right, and then Kelly, I do want your input. What do you think?
I'm always very sorry whenever somebody gets scammed, and unfortunately, I think in this case, it's a very unfortunate.
Do you think he wrapped up $38,000 in tinfoil, put it in an envelope, sent it to someone, and never wrote the address down and thought he was going to get it back at some point during an investigation into someone that was doing something in his bank account with child pornography?
Well, when you're threatened with child porn charges, sometimes you might do something a little extreme. And
I got
don't know.
I appreciate it. I got a whole nother thought on that, and I kind of brought that up. And I'm going to ask you straight out, Joseph, if you didn't do anything like that, why would you withdraw $38,000 and send it?
Because they asked me to. They said the account was being investigated, so it needed to be closed.
All right, hold tight. We're going to wrap this up after that. I'd like to know what to do for this guy. Here's the other problem. He needs $5,400 by tomorrow, and he doesn't have a job. So I'm like, let's just say I wave my magic wand and give him $5,400. He's in the same position next. He's been in this position for 3-4 months now. I have no idea how he's going to get out of this position. That's probably the biggest part. Honestly, he's probably fallen off the cliff. Hold on. We've got Rachel coming up. She's got an issue with a mechanic. Matt, you got kudos on line 4 from Dale. I want to see what that's all about. And then back to Len on that concrete issue. We can't get in touch with him. Oh, we do have Bob from LEM. Hold tight. We got our expert up. We got a lot going on.
Who's been there the whole time?
So I don't
Been there the
have
whole
to
time.
walk in there. That's all I wanted. For the love of God.
How do you get the $38,000?
Cash. I saw the bank account.
No,
Well, to elevate this
he cashed out his
bastard.
he cashed out his parent account.
He's retired. I don't know how
He's-
you retire on $38,000.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
Right.
But he pulled it out.
It's very, very, very fishy.
Well,
It's super fish.
You don't even understand. I mean, now I hear what he's asking.
I got to tell you about Keel and
Rachel, we're
Park.
gonna get to
You know what these
after
guys
the
do?
break,
They're
okay?
estate
So
planners. They can do everything from a simple will. They can do a complex will, of course. They can do a trust for you. They can tell you what you need if you don't know. But I'll tell you this, if you have kids and a house and any assets whatsoever, if you care where things go when you pass away, you really need to talk to these guys. The other thing they can help you with is maybe you've been divorced or you got remarried or adopted a child, but something has changed in your family and you've got to revisit the will. They can update the one you have. They can ask her all the questions about it, but if you don't have a plan in place, you really need to get it done and get it done now. There's no need to keep putting it off. These guys are estate planners that'll give you a peace of mind. Ready? Always free consultations. Give them a call at 970-818-8198. They have flat rate pricing. Just talk to them. They're good guys. 970-818-8198. Or check them out at lawkp.com. Made in the shade. We call them MITS, M-I-T-S. Made in the shade. In fact, Dragon, I'm going to hit you with this real quick. You used them, didn't you?
Sure did.
And why did you use them? And do not lie to the people.
Because they were so much cheaper and so much better than anybody else. So one of the people that you do the measuring and they'll guaranteed to fit or whatever, that company, well, they charged me the same price for 4 windows that I got 5 through Made in the Shade.
So the company that advertises very heavily and says, call us, and they make you measure your own windows, and then you install your own product after they ship it to you. These guys do everything. They came out, did the measuring. Did they help you with colors?
Most definitely, yeah. My wife's really picky about what the house is going to look like
They
on the
helped you all
inside,
across.
and they were like, "This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. We can do this. Done. 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 Here's the price." And it was shocking how low it was.
And it was cheaper than the guys that make you do everything. That's it. If you can do math, you understand what's going on. Check them out at MitzDenverSouth.com. That's MitzDenverSouth.com, or call them up right now, 720-458-6566. Family-owned, operated, just really good guys. 720-458-6566. Drape, shades, high-tech, no-tech, low-tech, exterior rolling shutters, any kind of covering for your window, you get the idea. 720-458-6566. Now, let's talk about Brad O'Brien. What does he do? He's an attorney that can do anything to do with property. Maybe you're buying a house with somebody that you're not married to. That's a interesting thing. Maybe with either maybe a brother or a friend. Maybe you're a landlord in Denver and you have not updated your lease with your tenants in years.
Maybe.
And now there's a bunch of changes in the law, and you might be in big trouble if you ever need to get rid of that tenant. So whether it's a lease you want to get updated, closing docs when you're buying a house, or a business, or virtually anything that's got to do with property, I want you to check out Brad O'Brien, olslaw.com, olslaw.com. That was good, Dragon. Thank you. There's Mr. Bradley O'Brien looking all stout. He updated his website. It looks good.
Joel, I got to see Tom's hair. I was in his house, his home studio, like a week ago. So
Did you notice a difference?
Well, I had the advantage of last time I was there. He had just had it done.
Okay.
So I right away I was like, "Let me see your hair. I want to look," and I can tell a difference.
Peach fuzz.
Yeah, you can see it
Just
starting to-
everywhere.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty cool.
how this works. We used to do it using the patient's own stem cells, but then you got to go through the whole procedure of having bone marrow and fat extracted. Now we use basically a stem cell byproduct that we order, and it's working even better. And it only takes an hour. So,
Yeah, he said it was quick.
Yeah. He was like, "Why is it so?" He's like, "You might want to make it last longer because you're charging people." And I'm like, "Yeah. As long as it works, that's all I care about."
Yeah, right.
Make them feel better and sit in the chair longer.
Yeah, I'm like, that's usually not what people want, but I hear what you're saying.
I hear that when it comes to like a plumber. You got a plumber electrician comes in 30 minutes later and it's $500.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, you should have lingered.
But with
Well,
that,
we do have them come back twice, so that's part of the whole process.
well, and it's a bunch of like needles. He was saying, like, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd want that longer than I'd have to. But I was saying, does it bleed? He said it didn't bleed, right?
A little bit. A little bit. Like, you're getting needle sticks, so you're going to have some blood. I mean, it depends on the person. Sometimes there's like, the head, you cut your head before it bleeds.
It bleeds like crazy. That's
so
what I figured.
our techs are just, he might not have seen it because they're wiping it up before you can see it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't there, but I don't think I've seen one where somebody didn't bleed from the needles.
Okay.
Do you guys remember if Joseph's Colorado Springs? Do you know?
I'm glad you didn't think you did.
Yeah, because that's what I asked him. It's like, were you bleeding all over? He's like, no,
I'm sure
bleeding.
it was.
So
They're just dabbing.
they're just taking it. Yeah.
How about if someone wanted a hairier chest?
Yeah, I was going to ask that about women's brows. What if they want to up their brow game and they want more?
Yeah, we can do that.
Make them thicker.
Maybe, Suzanne, if you want more eyebrows, you can take some of his chest hair.
There we go.
And we can
talked about
transplant
harvesting
it.
from other body parts.
See?
I don't want peppered eyebrows. Love you, babe, but gosh.
How about some pubes?
What about filling in my white trash beard right
You're
here?
being cute.
A little extra.
I can't grow it right here.
I got that same issue.
It looks like you did that on purpose.
That's what people say, and I know I absolutely did.
You know what he did? You know, he was in a movie.
Oh, yeah?
He was in the
Into
movie.
Wild. You ever seen
Into
that?
the Wild.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I doubled for the main character.
Oh, really?
Seriously?
Yeah.
So her and I were at
He's not in the Springs. He's
where
in
was that
Thornton.
wine tasting?
He's in Thornton. Pestle Robles.
No. I mean, with the movie.
Maggiano's down the street.
No, it wasn't
Yeah, it was.
Maggiano's.
They had the whole wine thing there. Or Ruth's.
It was Ruth's Chris.
Oh.
10
So we were
seconds,
at
buddy.
wine tasting. Oh, hold on.
House spots.
Hey. Okay. Do that.
Wealth.com.
Paul the Water Man. Why am I talking about him? Because if you want absolutely the best water systems for the least amount of money, that's why I'm talking about him. He came out and put a softener in our house. Suzanne loves it. I mean, honestly, tell people, why do you like it? I never think to ask you that.
Gives me better hair, Mark.
It gives her better hair. And anybody that's married or has got a live-in girlfriend, and when they have better hair, you have a better life. I don't know how else to put it. But the softener really gives her better hair. And it's absolutely amazing. The water feels different. It tastes good. I love everything about it. But if you want the best water systems out there, whether it's filtration or softeners, they've got the best prices. In fact, ours cost probably half what the other guys charge. And they'll do the same for you. I mean, that's how Paul works. He's an honest straight shooter. He's an actual licensed plumber. He knows what he's talking about. Check him out right now. Give him a call if you've been putting it off. Waterpros.net. They'll come out, do a free sample for you. They'll do free water testing. They'll give you a free quote. They're not high pressure. Waterpros.net. That's waterpros.net. Now, we have got a ton going on. I'm going to pull up Bob. Bob is on a referral list at referrallist.com. By the way, 303 Martino. That number works on and off the air. I try to throw that in every hour. We got lines full now, but I'll let you know. But if you call us after the show or have a neighbor that has a problem where you run into somebody and you're hearing a bad story, while you're at the grocery store or whatever, give that number out, 303 Martino. We monitor that 24/7. You can leave a message if we don't pick up, and we can try to help you. We live and breathe help. But Bob's on our referral list at referrallist.com. Bob, I'm going to hit you up for a favor like usual. I'm going to give you the nutshell version of what happened to Len. People came out because his driveway, it was Spalding. It looked like crap. They came out. They sold him some kind of resurfacing. And it looks like they...
I know what they did.
Well, hold on. They power washed it. And then after they power washed it, they put a sealant on it. What Mark Szymanski, who's in studio with me with Genesis Total Exteriors, thinks what happened is they didn't let it dry after power washing. They put that coating on there, and then the moisture had nowhere to escape, so it started crumbling the cement, and now he's got crumbling cement. And these guys, every phone number we have tried, by the way, Len, real quick, every phone number, Len, you gave us is now disconnected. Is that correct, Kelly?
Correct.
So these guys are fly by night. They're gone. They're simply not around. I'd love to find them, and if you do, I'd call them out. But I mean, they're gone. So what I would like is, Bob, can you go out there, look at what's going on, and give him some ideas on how to fix it properly?
Well, yeah, let me tell you, Mark, I know exactly what they did. We've had this happen 3 times this year. What they do is they put this painting coating on it. If there is no sealer you can put to fix that, and if they did anything besides that, they would have put an overlay. Overlays don't work, and I know they didn't do that because it wouldn't crumble that quick. So they probably put this painting thing that would help fill it in. And then, yes, you're probably right on the moisture part of it, but they couldn't even have put the coating down if it was too wet.
Well, I don't think it was too wet, but let me tell you, I left an important part out, I think, Bob. Hey, Len, you said it looked pretty good for how many days?
Well, until it dried.
So,
yeah, I know exactly what
they
did.
used.
I know
was called Pro Cement or something like that.
Pro Cement.
Yeah, I know what it.
Hey, Bob, can you go out there and evaluate the situation, call back in, and let's get some ideas.
Yeah, give me my number. Have him call me, and I'll. Where's he live at?
Aurora.
Yeah, just tell him to give me a
Right,
call, and I'll go out there look at it. I already know the answer I'm going to give him, but I'll be glad to go look at it.
I'd appreciate that, man. Thank you, Bob. That's Bob with LEM Landscaping. You can call Bob. He does cement, of course, landscaping, retaining walls. You get the idea. 303-564-9104 or on our referral list at referrallist.com. Now, Len, real quick, what I want to tell you is give him a call, have him come out. He'll give you a bid. And if we can somehow get these guys, if you can point out where to look for them, I mean, I'll send someone out to go confront them and ask them why they're not answering the phone. But every number you gave us has been disconnected.
Yep.
That sucks. It really sucks. But Len, let's see if we can't get you fixed up, man. Let us know what Bob says when he gets out there, and I'm going to put you on hold, and Kelly's going to give you his number to call him right now.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Or I'm sorry. Thanks, Len. Okay, 303-713-8255. We'll have one line open in a second. Dale has kudos for Matt at Paragon. Then I got to take a break. Dale, what did Matt do for you?
Hey, Mark, can you hear me okay?
I got you, bro.
I'm driving, so hopefully there's not too much road noise. But, yeah, I've been listening to you and Tom for years, and I've heard you guys talk about Matt at Paragon, and finally had a need for him. We had an insurance claim on that last big hailstorm last year, and just like you were saying.
Okay, hold on. I got to tease this. Hold on, Dale. Let me ask you one question, then I got to take a break. Dragon's ready to kill me.
Sure.
But let me ask you this. What was the initial amount your insurance company offered you?
About $40,000.
Hold on. That's all I wanted to know. I put him on hold. 303, Martino.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis.
Sell them? Yeah. Those invisible ones? Oh, we put it in your yard?
All right, and your name's Troy, Troy.
He had a big, beautiful log cabin with hailstorm.
Oof. Is it a good outcome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hang on for me.
The biggest thing was the log finishing.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Calm down, Becky. I forgot he was a stand-in for, who was it?
Oh, no, people say I look like Bradley Cooper, but that's
You do.
She says that.
Yeah. Emil Hirsch.
Okay, what's your name? You said Jesus?
Was it fun doing a movie?
Oh, my God, I would have.
Okay, and what did you want to
No
talk to
kidding.
Mark about?
Was it hard to get the gig, or did you fall into it?
It was a connection I had, and then I showed up on set, and they were like, dude.
It works.
It just worked.
All right, hold on. Simply Floors and Red Rocks. You know, the first time I met Buddy Mitchell, he called into the show. He owns SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Are you living
There was
in
an
an
old guy
apartment?
that lived in Castle Rock, and I still feel so bad for this guy. I still have a video when I went out and interviewed him. He got ripped off by a flooring guy. In fact, he gave a lot of money down. I got to tell this backstory. I'm going to take a minute here. So it's important for people to hear this because this explains who Buddy and Karen Mitchell are. But
And
he
by
went
the
to
way,
one of these home shows, The Caller, and he ended up giving a lot of money down
for me,
to an
and
unscrupulous
Mark will be with you as
flooring
soon as
guy
possible,
and
okay?
contractor who was going to come to his house in Castle Rock, build out his basement so his dad, who was dying of cancer, would have a place to live in his last few months here on Earth. And that's exactly what happened. That poor man did pass years ago. But Buddy Mitchell got involved and did the flooring 100% for free for that guy. He helped this guy who was dying, and he stood up, and that's how I met Buddy Mitchell. We called him up not long after that happened years ago, and we had him redo all the carpet in our house. He's done LVT for us, but he's got 3 showrooms around town. What I love about Buddy is he's got the selection, the installation, the great warranties, and the product is called Proximity Mills. Look it up. It's a big, full line of everything. They've got carpet, LVP, They've got any kind of laminate. They've got engineered flooring, real wood flooring. They got anything you want. But check these guys out. I really like Buddy Mitchell and the gang. It's simplyfloorsinc.com. 3 showrooms, or they'll come out. That's what I prefer. Have them bring the samples to you, a color coordinator to help you out for free. They're just great people. You ready? simplyfloorsinc.com. Now, let me tell you about redrocksrs.com. That stands for roof and solar. Yup. They do roofs, but they specialize in solar. They can do any project you want. And if you have a commercial building, they can help you find grants to where you can get 100% of it paid for, maybe 95, 100%, and you can actually sell energy to other people. They know how to get the grant money. She'll talk to you about it for free. There's no phony baloney. If she can't get it, she'll tell you it's not going to work out in your case. Now, if you have a home solar system and you have a problem with it, and they were fly-by-nights like a lot of these solar companies, and you can't reach them, they'll come out, they'll fix it. They have their own salespeople, their own installation people, their own everything. They're great people. They know what they're doing. RedRocksRS.com. That's RedRocksRS.com.
With migraines.
My bad.
Uh-oh. Did he miss one?
No, he fired it twice.
Oops.
I fixed it.
This is the one, like the bus, right?
Yeah. I did basically just stand in work.
But I'll tell you, I hate
doing stuff
consistent throbbing. Like I can do aches.
So you're not doing stunts.
I can do that stuff, but when it's
piano,
like constant.
I'm a musician, so Emil couldn't hack it with the piano. So I did. Those are my.
And you have no idea what you did. You just know you're old.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
There.
fun. And Sean Penn directed it. And Vince Vaughn was in it. I'm hanging out with all these people. And like,
Was Vaughn cool?
the coolest of them all.
He's tall as shit, ain't he?
6'5". I got a great picture of he and I playing poker with a couple other people. But
On set or whatever.
Yeah, it was 4th of July, so we took a break from filming and like had a big party.
But he's a real cool dude.
It's just like you would think.
Man.
Like just the coolest guy. I mean, I was in college and I decided, well, I'm gonna go finish college. And now
That's the other thing too. This thing has been waking me up in the middle of the night.
But if that's my one and done, that's pretty cool.
Seriously?
That's a great story. We were having this
What are you
dinner
doing?
wine thing. It was like a 3-hour deal at
That
Ruth's
was an
Chris.
easy layup.
And we
It
were
was.
sitting with the parents of the guy.
Oh, Chris.
Wasn't it the parents?
Or the aunt or
Or the
some,
aunt.
A relative of Chris.
It was
family?
yeah.
Like either the aunt or the actual mother.
Yeah.
And she was just telling us all about it. And I don't remember if we already knew you did it or
I
if
think
we
you
found
did.
out later.
I think it was right around the same time that you guys knew about it.
Because they were part of the movie. I mean, they
Right.
weren't in it, but I mean, they
They
were.
were a big part of it, the direction that it went. And I got to meet them at the premiere in L.A., the red carpet event. And all
The whole
that.
bit.
Yeah. And Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam did the soundtrack. I got to party with him in L.A.
Jesus.
I got all these cool pictures, man. It was wild.
Must be a nice life, right?
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad.
It was probably, and I wrote it all out, how it all happened, just to share with people who give a shit.
Yeah.
Now your kids and shit eventually would love that.
It's a crazy story when you read it. I mean, it's like, wow.
Didn't he like walk forever or something?
He just hitchhiked for like.
And he ended up in a bus.
Right.
And then he died in the
It's not
bus.
a happy ending.
Yeah, it's not a feel-good.
It's inspiring that he wanted to just drop out of society and
Bacon.
live off the land and all that.
Didn't he walk that
Cotton
trail
candy.
or no? That's a different one.
No, that's it.
That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trail and all that.
And it's like the movie is in the book.
So,
he
they
like
used to have these-
shows his
I don't
relationships
even know
along
if they
the
have
way. Like
Right.
he meets up with these different people.
But they
Sure.
used to
He
have
was
like
just living on the
sugar,
Weird people.
cookie,
Yeah, some of them.
vanilla
I met some
ice
of them.
cream
Did you?
sandwiches.
That literally are on the trail. I mean, they're
Yeah.
kind of in the same
Or
deal.
like the
The ice
hippie
cream
kind of,
sandwiches
you know,
used to
yeah,
be
just
like
kind
off
of
the
Vagabonds.
I
Yeah,
don't like
totally.
chocolate.
Did you read the book?
I did, and I watched.
I read the book
Yeah.
years before the movie came.
Yeah, me too. It was like a school thing
Yeah,
that we
well,
had to do.
yeah, not that long.
I was school. Mine was school.
Yeah, I was fascinated.
And I don't know if something like crumble cookie, if you could even do that. If you could put ice cream between.
Yeah, that's actually part of my story.
Oh, sure, why
How it
not?
happened. I read the book.
The fat guy in me says yes.
I mean, it,
Terms apply.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing 303-761-6400.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
All right, say you want a new bathroom, you want to remodel. Check this out. The guys at Renew Home Innovations, this is till the end of the month. It's not much longer. 50% off installation labor. Payments as low as $100 a month for that new shower. Think of that. $100 a month. 72 months. No interest. No interest. It's amazing. They got huge inventory. They can do rapid installations. Maybe you got people coming to town. But if you want that free look right now, they'll come out. They'll tell you exactly how much you're looking at. They'll give you an estimate right there on the spot. They're great people. They're on a referral list at referrallist.com, renewhomeinnovations.com. Call before the end of the month, though. That's a real deal. 50% off installation labor and really a new bathroom for less than $100. What do they say? A cup of coffee a day. Well, that's a heck of a lot less than Starbucks every day. renewhomeinnovations.com. Now, man, we have got just a ton going on here. We got to finish up with Dale. Dale called in to give Matt with Paragon Services. Matt's in studio with me. Same with Mark Szymanski. We got Brian with Compass Insurance. We got Dr. Joe with us. We've got a packed house today. So here's the bottom line. This guy called in because he uses Matt. Matt's a public adjuster. When you have a claim with your insurance company, they have their own adjuster. Matt becomes your adjuster and fights for you. So, Dale, you told me that your insurance company first offered you roughly $40,000. You've listened to the show for years, and you have heard me say every good thing you can imagine about Matt in a circumstance like you were in. I assumed you reached out to Matt after they said 40 grand.
I did.
And what kind of damage did you have? Was it a hailstorm?
It was the hailstorm. What was it, May of last year?
Matt, Matt, do you remember Dale? Do you need a last name and address?
No, I know Dale well, yeah.
You do know him well.
Absolutely.
Dale, how much, I'm not going to let Matt say it, but the initial $40,000 the insurance company wanted to give you for the hail damage, how much did it end up being when everything was done?
I believe it ended up at a little over $120,000.
3 times. Matt, is that right? I mean, do you recall?
That's about right.
Now, here's what I want people to understand, and I can sit here and say this a million times. Insurance companies don't adjust up. They had an adjuster go out there, and their adjuster saw $40,000 in damage. He hired Matt to be his adjuster, and Matt saw $120,000 in damage. Now, isn't that mind-boggling? If it's not done on purpose, Matt, what is it done by? I mean, really think about that. If you said $45,000, anybody could argue some supplemental claims. But when you go from $40,000 to $120,000, if you recall what's going on here, or this particular client, I would like to know how you got it from 40 to 120 as quick as you can say it.
It was a lot of different stuff. Some of it was personal property. Some of it, he had detached structures that weren't addressed. It's a log home and a log outbuilding. Very nice property. Typically with these, they just go out and say, "Yeah, we see roof damage. Here you go," and walk away. So most people have no idea to engage with a public adjuster. Right. So it was just a matter of getting all of the exterior stuff accounted for, all in the elevations of the home, and like I said, some of the personal property, a lot of tarps that were damaged.
Dale, when they came out and said $40,000 and looked at it, did they talk about your outbuildings? Did they talk about your personal property, or they just said this is how much damage you have?
They just said the roof is the only damage there is on this property.
40 to 120,000. Dale, I appreciate you calling in. I'm sure Matt does. I mean, he's a walking billboard.
Thank you, Dale. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate everything you did for us. Keep up the good work, Mark.
Hey, thanks, man. I love that, guys. I can't do it. Brian, I want to get you on real quick. Brian Burns, Compass Insurance. Let me tell you what Compass does. They shop my insurance every year. Every year. My automotive. They shop my homeowners. They shop my RV. They shop my motorcycle. They shop my kids' renter's policy. My God, is that all of them, or do you shop more for me? Oh, my trailer.
Umbrella. Did you say umbrella?
Oh, no, I didn't say umbrella.
Yep.
They shop my umbrella with, 30 companies?
Yeah, in the current market, less than that. But yeah, you're probably closer to 10 to 12 in today's market right now.
Elaborate on that. What you mean is there's a lot of companies that decided not to write homeowners or anything in Colorado.
Yeah, a lot of companies have gone on pause in Colorado and in some other states too, but specifically Colorado, where they don't want new business. They've said no new business at all. So it's as hard of a market, would be the term, as I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never seen it like this. This is
and all
by
that
far the
means
worst.
is they're losing money.
Yeah. I mean, and I look at my own, accounts, different companies that I have books of business with, and I can think of one that this year we're running a $3.90, which means for every dollar they collect, they're paying out $3.90.
Oh my God.
So, these relationships with these, and we're not alone.
But that's why coverage in general is changing as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago where no one ever heard of a percentage of your main dwelling would be your deductible or an ACV account for a roof. I mean, really, they're fairly new, or they might not be new, but now they're more common than anything.
Well, now they're not even a choice. That's all there is out there. I mean, there's a couple carriers that still offer it. But that was my point. Even hearing Matt talk as well. There are companies that pay better than others. I'm not crazy to think that.
Yeah.
But when you're getting quotes out to customers, a lot of times they don't want to pay the higher expense to be with one of those carriers.
Well, you're correct, because like Chubb probably gives no problems, but I mean, that's a certain clientele.
Yeah, right. I've got a company that they pay better than anybody I see. I don't know if you deal with them ever, but Acuity is a company.
Matt said Acuity and
did you
Chubb.
mention that? Acuity,
he said he said the worst he deals with is American Family.
Okay.
And American Family, aren't they their own? I mean,
yeah, they're a captive, so I don't deal with them, but like Acuity doesn't even take out depreciation half the time. So most carriers will depreciate, and then it's called recoverable depreciation.
Yeah, I get it, but you're paying for that.
But your premiums are higher. But and I understand people are already paying a fortune. They're like, I don't care. I want something cheaper. At the claim time, they don't.
But that's why I always say that's why guys like you at Compass are so important, because you don't just shop one company. Something I learned from you when our kids, Miles is 24 now. When he turned 16, I called you up and you had us with, I don't know if it was Progressive, Safeco, who knows at the time.
Right.
But we had our auto with somebody. But when we started putting young drivers on, you said, whoa, Progressive's going to be way too high, or whatever it was.
Right.
And you reshop companies that specialized in young drivers.
Yep.
So all of a sudden you saved us a fortune just like that.
Yep.
The other thing we've done with them, guys, and you guys are business people, he can go out there and shop all the business policies. Right here, we had employees here for a while years ago on TSN, and we had
workers' comp, yeah.
Pinnacle.
Yep.
We had Pinnacle. When I had my Goodyears and computer stores, honest to God, I thought the only thing you could buy was Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, I did. And with my industry codes, especially in the automotive, the rates were probably better with Pinnacle than anybody else. But we switched from Pinnacle here, TSN, Troubleshooter Network, and went with,
I think it was Hartford, wasn't it?
Hartford?
Yeah.
It was like 50% cheaper.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, man. But it really depends, once again, what classification the business is in. He knows who to shop for that class.
Yeah. Yep. The circumstance change, the companies that we would recommend change, for sure.
Compass Insurance, go to compassinsurance.com. If you have your deck page, you send it over there. They're going to shop everybody. When that renewal comes, even if it's tied in with your mortgage, listen, you can switch that. That's not up to your insurance company. And then people out there that don't realize they're underinsured right now, those are the ones I feel bad for. How many people, Brian, in the Boulder County fire, how many, the percentage of people were underinsured? Listen to this.
It was 92% of all people is what those final numbers were.
Underinsured. Yep. They lost their ass. Rachel, Troy, Jesus, hang tight. You're next.
Next hour.
But the ones that got burned down, out,
we had probably.
Doc, we're going to hit you coming out of the main gate.
What do you want to talk about?
What?
What do you want to talk about?
Tell me what you want to talk about. Talk about it all.
Yeah.
We have all break to think about it. I'm saying coming into the next hour, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah. I think maybe we start hitting back the weight loss stuff and see if we get a couple more people on that.
Hair product.
No, weight loss.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I think we talked enough about hair.
Okay.
And Tom, I'll have
There's a
Tom-
lot of fat people out there.
Yeah, I'll have Tom talk about his hair, his own personal hair, next time he's on the air.
I'm gonna schedule you today.
Okay. We always get a handful of weight loss when we talk about it.
But I trust that he appreciates you guys. So yeah. So it's nice.
Unmarried couple buying a home. How about seller financing reviews? How about if you're buying a business? How about any kind of contract reviews, loan docs, leases, a complicated deal? Or how about you're renting your first place to put in a computer store like I did a million years ago? When you're looking at a lease, you need an attorney to look over it. Now, if you're a landlord and have tenants and you haven't updated your lease, especially in Colorado with all the landlord-tenant changes we've had, you need to call Bradley O'Brien. You hear him right here on the air all the time, helping out callers, going through contracts, anything real estate. He is your man. 720-370-7388. Please call him. He'll talk to you over the phone for free, or visit olslaw.com. Fix it 24/7. You know, you can get a licensed technician, meaning a plumber, an electrician, a HVAC tech, licensed, insured, to your house to solve your problem. You ready for this? $39. $39 to get a licensed, insured professional to your house to help you with plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. They'll give you an estimate right there on the spot. I don't know of anybody else for $39 will send someone out to figure out what's going on. Go to fixmyhome.com. George and the gang are great guys. Fixmyhome.com. Fixmyhome.com.
You do the 16th or 17th?
Yeah,
or the
and I
23rd
would
or
never-
24th. They're both Monday, Tuesdays.
September.
Well,
I'm sorry, what am I looking at?
16, 17.
I'm sorry, Dragon, did you say something? No?
But yeah, but it's not you.
Who do I got?
23 or 24.
Oh, my God, I'm Tom today. What the freak?
But we would never say, hey, tell them.
I do, too.
You know,
She's in there hobbling around because some swimmer hurt herself in France. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
Totally. She broke it 30 years ago.
Monday the 23rd.
Yes. Right. So
It takes a lot of energy to do what you do.
Feel pretty cooked at the end.
Yeah, I bet.
I always think, I think this particular show, when I did just overnight talk, it was nowhere near at this pace. I used to love doing that on KOA. I mean, I'd be talking to people at half the country, man. At night, that 50,000 watt blowtorch lights up. I'll have calls from New Mexico, California, Arizona. It's crazy, man. But the pace was nothing like this. I think this should be calls,
I just need your
get
first
through them,
name.
on to the next call. Just really giving out good information. Occasionally screaming and yelling, but I have a hard time not just in one gear. When I'm doing spots sometimes I want to shift down just to break that same and it's very hard for me to do because I'm so caught up in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's where I got to get more discipline. I usually get settled in pretty good after a week, but Tom is almost never gone for 1 or 2 weeks, just once a year. So I never get to find that good up and down, high and low rhythm. And then Kelly's always, you know, something's always wrong with her. Like if I hit my elbow, hers probably hurts.
You're participating in it now. But
You got house spot again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Who am I gonna do? Who should I do? I'll do 888. Well, I just did a fix it, so I'm gonna do Frank Duran, the real estate man.
You're going to do Duran. I don't understand those Excel ones. Lower.
I don't see Excel. Oh yeah.
I don't understand why they're down there like that.
I don't know, but I'll do it.
So Duran, you're going to do Duran.
I'm gonna do Duran.
for any company, because you can't make money. You just, you can't.
They're all moving to Delaware.
Right. Right.
You know, it's funny you said that, Doc. I wonder. Well, you got to remember, our average listener is 15 minutes. That's why we're just constantly repeating stuff. You know, when we go back and recap, it's not to hear ourselves talk. It's most people that just tuned in have no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
But we do have people that listen for. Actually, we probably have a longer audience than any other show I know of. I mean, we have 50,000 people a month that listen to the entire podcast. Now, there's no commercials, and it's condensed into whatever 2.5 hours. But I think it would be hard from a listener side, having kind of, if I use this pace all the time, I think that could be kind of exhausting to a listener too.
Yeah.
Now, a 15-minute spurt of it, I don't think so.
No.
And also the profitability skyrockets. But you add in the cats, and they're, you know, you just don't see it very often where you're actually profitable with the carrier. But yeah. We do so well in other states is the problem. I mean, we're licensed.
Yeah, we are busy as shit today, gentlemen. Look, we've got a ton going on next hour. Listen, Rachel, Troy, Jesus, Leah, I really appreciate you guys holding on. I promise we'll get to you. We'll try to solve your problems, and we've got a lot more to come. Simple as that. Don't forget, Frank Duran, the real estate man, the best guy out there. He saved us a fortune. He made us money on our house. If you want the best out there, check out frankduranhomes.com. We'll be back in a sec. Agua. I think the weight loss is the easier to sell.
Yeah, it's just slowed down a lot because there's so much competition out there.
It's crazy.
So I just need to emphasize, like, we're still very price competitive, really, very much so. At
No, you
$275.
started it. At least from everything I saw, you started the low price stuff.
Yeah.
And then you had a lot of people copy, or a lot of people start thinking of it, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, and then also the other, like, people that were ahead of me, like, nationally.
I mean,
like Row.com, you see their advertisements.
Yep.
Or there's another one, Henry Meds. And I see now their Facebook ads are discounting their prices. It's the first time I've seen them do that. So that's telling me that there's price pressure everywhere. But it's still more than I'm charging.
Well, I'll tell you why I like the model. I mean, the pricing's great. I think you've got basically the best pricing out there. But it also brings them into your realm. So when they start thinking of other issues as they get older, whether it's PRP or stem cells or whatever it happens to be, hair regeneration.
We send them a marketing email every month.
You guys have the whole, yeah, exactly.
No, it wasn't in dispute. It was at the football.
The guys we go to, we've been going, we call them the Hormone Bros for, how long have we been going to the Hormone Bros? 10 years? And we get the bio whatever pellets. What are they called? Bio-T. I like the pellets. I don't want the shots, but they do the same thing. Like they market all kinds of stuff to us, which I don't mind whatsoever. It lets us know other things they do.
Yep.
But, you know. I wish there was a pill you could do.
Yeah. It's a nice stadium. Were you on the floor or did you have seats?
No, we were
Oh, who'd you see?
Stones. I would love to see that, man.
We got George Strait
Yeah.
and Stapleton.
Oh, God.
At Allegiant.
If I don't sell them, she'd kill me, but.
You got to see that, man. Morgan here. My wife Mile High was good.
I
Oh.
sold Morgan.
We had tickets to Allegiant and for last Friday, had to sell.
So I dropped $4,500 on 8 tickets. I bought 2 mini suites, is basically the word for them. And no, maybe 5,000 total. I sold them right under 9. So I almost doubled.
Oh, wow.
And the only reason I got nervous Wednesday, they were in Vegas Friday. I got nervous Wednesday and
Look at
dropped the
Mullen.
price from 1,300 down to, I only had 2 left, but I dropped them from 13 down to like 7 or 8. And I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't have.
Selling the seats in the mini suite?
Yeah.
It's not,
they're
no, the
nice.
suite, how do you explain this? So they're called luge.
They're recliners with, coolers.
They're big,
and you get
huge,
it
front
includes
row.
Food.
The suites are above us.
Oh, they're the lower part of the suite. Main suite.
But they're private.
Yeah.
So it's a private area. It includes, the food's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not only like your hamburgers and Raiders dog and nachos and all
then
that
they do,
stuff,
like-
but they'll have like sushi and they'll have, you know, barbecue. They'll have all
Philly
kinds of stuff.
cheesesteak sandwiches.
And then it's all VIP entrance before and after. So after the show, if you want to hang out in the bar and still eat with friends, you can do that. You can get in early.
Got a waitress.
Probably your own bathroom.
Yep.
Oh, God, like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That's
cooler
how
than
we're seeing
Sweet.
George straight, but he's already been offered like 3 times what we paid for him.
Well,
and
at
I'm,
some point, the
So I
money
got-
doesn't matter anymore.
Right,
It's like
exact.
You're
That's
gonna see something.
Yeah.
Well, Metallica, we sold.
Well, we saw Metallica.
I bought 8. 6 of us went, and the 4 I sold to my friends. They just paid whatever I paid for them, and we sold 2. 2 of them covered all 8.
Oh my God! So you bought them early, and
We
then
made
right
a
before
lot
the
of
show,
money.
They call as soon as they know the concert's coming up. I get a call. Do I want it? The one I screwed up big time. Big time.
Was
Taylor Swift. So I was going to buy 8 of them. They were $2,500 for a 4-pack. That's generally what I pay. $2,400 for a 4-pack. You got to buy 4. And they called me back and said they're going to be $3,000. I said, I don't want them. I could have easily sold those $3,000 for 4.
Retired.
I would have made literally. I would have made $30,000, no problem at all.
That's unbelievable. She's taking over.
Who would have known that though at that time? This was before the damn. This was 6-8 months
It's before the Eras tour started.
before they even announced the fucking concert or whatever.
Well, she started dating Kelsey with the Chiefs, and like,
For,
Can you-
for Kelsey, life has done this.
I was gonna say who
I
drugged
think
who
they're
up. I
piggybacking
think.
each other at this point.
Oh my God, Kelsey! No man, he's like a fucking pauper, man. What's he got? Like 10 million?
Ah, yeah.
This guy, he ain't got no money.
He ain't got no billion.
It's not Taylor money.
Man, you got $1 billion and you give someone 100, you don't even know what happened.
Not a dent.
You got Kelsey money, and give someone $100, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah, she is next level.
Anybody watch the Broncos? Did you watch them? What'd you think?
I thought all 3 quarterbacks looked pretty decent.
I did too.
I mean, I wasn't like, of course, we're excited about the rookie, but I thought in general, I mean, I thought Wilson first struggled, but then he kind of got in the groove. He was number 2 draft pick for the Jets.
Yeah.
The other one, Bo something. Hicks.
I remember him with, who was he with? Was it Auburn?
Oregon.
He played at Oregon for sure.
He graduated from Oregon.
I don't remember what, I must have been literally at a game with them, or not,
Yeah,
you know.
we were when we saw the Cornhuskers with Miles. They played the Ducks.
Okay.
Isn't that what they're called, the Ducks?
Yep.
That would be
Yeah.
it then.
Last fall.
That-
I went to the Oregon game against Nebraska 4 or 5 years ago. I've never been to such an interesting city.
Who? Omaha?
No, it was.
Oh, it was up in Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there was a guy walking around sniffing roses, wearing a dress and Birkenstocks.
Nice.
This is the funniest one. He was at Rare Brewery. He's walking around like he has a baby, you know, those little these things, patting it. All of a sudden, just, you know, I'm watching, just walking, doing this. All of a sudden, there's no baby there.
There's nothing.
He's pretending he has a baby and he's walking around.
Crack his whack.
Pretending to just cuddle the baby.
It's like, there's some strange folk.
Well, we saw them, Mark. We saw them with Cornhuskers. Have you ever been to a Cornhuskers
Yeah,
game?
I'm going to the CU one.
In Nebraska? That is the most
We
wholesome
might-
football
we might be
stadium
there.
ever.
I'm going.
If we're there, I'll call you.
Yeah.
We might be there. That's where our son basically lives.
Okay, so I graduated high school in Norfolk, Nebraska. So
That's where our son
That's where our
is.
son is.
It's in
He's going
Norfolk.
to
You were in Norfolk?
I graduated high school from Norfolk.
Holy cow.
He runs
hates
the
it there.
What's he doing there?
the Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, he was with Walmart
Yeah.
and then switched to Hobby Lobby out there, co-manager.
Boy, that's a small world.
Trying to get back
It's
here.
it's a town, dude. If you haven't been there, it's
No, I
like
haven't.
it's not like Franktown.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like Monument.
Big enough to have a Hobby Lobby, but not.
35,000 people maybe.
Yeah, they got a Walmart. Their mall is like a total joke. It's
Pizza
like nothing you
Ranch.
ever seen.
I worked I ate at Pizza Ranch. I worked in Hy-Vee.
You read,
Yeah, I love Hy-Vee. You could get a beer
it's got
there.
a full blown Hy-Vee's got a full blown bar in it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
A full-blown bar.
You walk into the
Like
grocery
while
store.
she's grocery shopping, I can drink.
Perfect.
To 200-200, you'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. My goal, our goal in life, is to make your life better. If you have been ripped off, if you have been taken advantage of, if you want to expose a bad guy and help other people, this is the show for you. Over $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, and refunds directly due to this show. 303 Martino, that number works all the time. Please write it down. Tell your neighbors. Maybe you're in the grocery store, eavesdropping. Someone got ripped off by a roofer. Tell them 303 Martino. Tap them on the shoulder. Say 303 Martino. Tell them help at troubleshooter.com. We like helping people. That's what we do. Now, we got a lot cooking. Dr. Joel Cherdak, and I promise I'm going to go to the calls. I do have a question for you, though. Yeah. It's kind of funny. The weight loss drug, and I don't know what this means. They said, doesn't one drug work a lot better than the other? Which one does he use? Maybe you can shed light on that.
I think what they're probably referring to is semaglutide versus tirzepatide. So semaglutide is what's in Ozempic and Wegovy, and tirzepatide is what's in Mounjaro.
Do they all work the same way for weight loss?
They're all in the same class of drugs. GLP-1s is what they're called. The tirzepatide does seem to be a little bit more effective, particularly for people who the semaglutide's not working for. It seems to have less side effects for people that have side effects with semaglutide. It's a little bit, I would say maybe a cleaner drug. They both work, they both work great. The tirzepatide, we have a lot of patients that have moved off semaglutide onto tirzepatide. It's just it is a little bit of a higher quality drug. It's also more expensive.
How much more? So I know, like semaglutide, you guys charge $275 a month. That includes the initial visit, whether it's by Zoom, in person, however, the doctor's visit, the prescription. Then you ship them the injections each week.
Monthly. They get a
monthly, and they take them weekly.
They take it weekly, yes.
So they're all in for $275 a month.
Right. We
it
charge
makes me
2
think
months
of
up front, but then it's $275.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's still $275
it's $275 a month. Yeah.
Think about that. It's like the car wash. I've always done the math. We have the all-you-can-eat car wash. You basically you pay $30 one time, or you pay $35 and you can go through every single day. I mean, it's crazy. $275 for this. Now, how much more is that other drug, and what's it called again? Tirzepatide?
It's called tirzepatide, and that's $475 a month.
$475.
Right.
So it does cost more. But other people have that for how much a month? $2,000?
I mean, it's at least 50% less than the brand name drugs.
Than anybody out there.
Correct.
And you guys have your own pharmacy. They compound it. You do everything.
We work with like 3 different compounding pharmacies. So depending on where the order's coming from, where we needed to fill it from, and timing, we decide which compounding pharmacy to use. But all of their products are
now. I want to get a little weird here. Who wouldn't you prescribe it to? Let's say you have a consultation with someone, and they walk in and they want to lose weight, and they're 130 pounds, 5'6". I mean, you're not going to prescribe it.
No, if their BMI is to the point where they're underweight, then that would be a red flag.
That was my question. So what is generally the criteria of people responding to what you guys are doing? In other words, are they 50 pounds overweight, 10 pounds overweight, or just a hodgepodge?
We get people anywhere from wanting to lose, 5 to 10 pounds over the course of a month or two, to people that are 100 or more pounds overweight.
What's your biggest success story in the past year? I'm talking weight, like a guy that was 400, now he's 300.
We have a number of patients that have lost 30 to 40% of their weight.
30 to 40%?
Yes. And so it's better to describe it that way.
No, of course it is.
Because that encompasses our entire patient base.
That's a third of a person, man.
Right.
And once people reach their weight goals, we're not pushing them to continue. Like they can stop it. We don't lock them into a year program. They can stop at any time with
And
a
if
month's
they
notice.
did continue with good habits, diet, exercise, they would keep it off.
Right. And
a lot of people struggle with that part, though.
Right. And we have a number of patients that they're with us for a few months and then they're not. And
If
they come back.
If people reach out to you right now, DenverRegen.com, they go to the
DenverRegen.com.
website, they call up. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when they talk to you, they can ask whatever questions. There's no cost to that.
No, they're
You
gonna
guys
speak
will
with-
explain the whole plan, what it'll do, what to expect, everything.
Right. They'll speak with Ty, who's our patient coordinator. He will answer every question they have.
Yeah.
If they fill out their paperwork and they decide that it's good for them, then our medical doctor will review it. Our medical doctor will reach out to them and speak to them personally and answer questions as well.
I just thought of something. Now, this has nothing to do with Suzanne. Suzanne's underweight. I was thinking if a husband or a boyfriend got this for their significant other or girlfriend, would that be a good or bad thing? That's what I say. I immediately thought that would be a bad thing, right?
Who's the youngest you treat?
Do that.
What's the youngest you treat? Will you treat a teenager whose parents are bringing them in because they're
I
having
mean,
weight issues?
if they're obese, if they fit in the obese category, and their parents come in with them and sign as a guardian, then absolutely we would do that.
Yeah.
But when we start to talk about young people like that, it really needs to be a health issue,
You
not
dig in.
not an aesthetic issue.
Yeah. Well, going back to what I was saying, though, have you ever had someone buy like a gift certificate or
Do you have a
we haven't
Valentine's
really
Day
had that.
special is what we're asking.
Here, honey, go lose some weight.
You're giving me some good ideas, but we haven't done anything like that yet. I mean, obviously the patient has to go through the process, so it can't be like a surprise, really.
Yeah. See, I argue with gifts with Martino all the time because, I mean, Suzanne, he laughs that I got her cookware. He goes, oh, he gets you pots and pans, worst gift giver either. Do you not love your made-in pans?
I love them, Mark.
God, that didn't even sound good.
No,
did
I
it?
do.
What about
I
the
love
crazy?
them. You know I love them.
What about the Walgreens steak that he used to get?
Oh,
I won't
shut
eat
up.
that.
All right, 303-713-8255. Rachel, what is going on with you? And then, Jesus, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm kind of like disabled right now. That is
Rachel, I can't hear a word you're saying. Kelly, we got to fix that. I mean, I felt like I was in a Peanuts cartoon there for a minute. Jesus, what's going on with you? Jesus, I'm getting a complex, gentlemen. Jesus, he's been holding so long. I'm going to give him one more. 3, 2. Jesus.
I dumped that one, Mark.
I'm not going to dump it, but I'll put it on hold. Kelly, you got 2 to shake down. Leah, what's going on with you? Leah? There is no way.
Hi, it's Leia.
Hi, Leah. How are you?
Like Princess Leia. I love
Yeah,
that.
no kidding. What's going on?
Yes.
You've got a question on an insurance claim. What's happening?
We have just been through it, Tom. It has been a doozy of a year for my family. First, last year, we had hail. We had hail that hit our roof in May of last year.
May last year, that was a big month.
Yes, it was. Caused damage to our roof, requiring a full roof replacement, as well as a ton of interior damage.
So, Leah, at that point in May, did you file a claim? And it looks like you have State Farm.
Correct.
And did you
Filed a
get the
claim
roof
with
done?
State Farm. Yes. So initially, I started working with a roofing company who said that they would, handle the claim, get everything taken care of, and that I was in good hands, essentially. And luckily, my neighbor saw that my roof was tarped and said, hey, I want to recommend that you hire a public adjuster named Matt with Paragon Services. So thank God for my neighbor Janet, who recommended that I contact Matt.
I'm starting to think Matt, before he came in, had some plants going on here. This will be the second time we've had a call on Matt when he's sitting next to me. So initially, I want to ask you this, Leigh. Initially, when you had the damage, how much did State Farm offer you, the initial amount?
Well, so here's where it gets squirrely, is that the roofing company was handling all of that on my behalf.
Yeah.
And they essentially were just getting the coverage for the roof, not really addressing all of the interior damage.
So
it
did
was
they
just to
try?
pay out-
Did they try to keep the money for the interior damage, or they just never addressed it?
They tried to sync us up with a subcontractor that was just going to do like a paint and patch
Yeah,
over pretty nasty interior damage to our ceilings.
got it.
So the money was very minimal for that. And also our home was built in the 60s, so we have asbestos. And my husband and I, we have a little baby, and the asbestos portion was never really addressed by the roofing company. And it was not even, really brought up. But we had an asbestos spill in our home, which we weren't really aware of at the time. So luckily, when our neighbor, advised us to contact a public adjuster, we got in touch with Matt. Then we learned, okay, we have to test these ceilings for asbestos.
Yeah, of course.
And now we have to have it abated.
But where does it go from there? I mean, I need to push this down the road a little bit. So Matt got involved.
Okay. Right. And then
Matt, is this ringing a bell?
Oh yeah, I talk to Leia almost every day. She had 2 claims, hail claim, and then her sewer backed up. So we were ping-ponging both claims, trying to get State Farm to walk the line. A bunch of different contractors in and out. She has just been through absolute hell with this whole
Where
thing.
does it stand right now?
So we've been passed around by State Farm. I don't know, probably we're on our maybe 14th or 15th adjuster. They have a team environment where they intercept calls. It's a pain to even get a human on the phone. And then when you do, you find out it's been reassigned. So we're just trying to get it finalized. But
They just keep reassigning us, Tom. They just keep reassigning a different adjuster, kicking the can down the road to somebody else.
But Matt, hold on, I got a break here, Leia. But Matt, you handle all that for her. In other words, these phone calls are basically you.
Me. And so this has literally been the worst one I've ever seen with State Farm. They just keep passing it over to somebody else.
Do they not trust what's going on? What's your gut?
No, I don't think that they understand what's going on because it's 2 claims. They just don't know what is associated with what versus the other.
That's absolutely crazy.
I mean, it's almost time, at this point, in most cases, I would get an attorney. But I don't know if that fits Leia's situation or not.
It's hard.
So,
I mean, then you're talking money, man.
Right.
I mean, like real money.
Right.
Or you could be.
So the best thing I can do for now is just try to get a hold of a human over there, a manager, and get this thing wrapped up for her.
God, that's crazy. All right, everybody hold tight. We got a lot kicking. 303 Martino.
Yeah, you did the sheetrock, right? Sheetrock.
Oh, on Fuller, Red Rocks.
You're lucky that's all you did. There's so many contractors. Flooring guy. Oh yeah, she brings in all her own people. She has me bid it, and she hires her own people. Like, why are you wasting my time? Oh yeah, she was horrible. You know the worst part? I'm doing this one for free. I know, and we told you you're nuts for doing that. Why? You're trying to help somebody? They both lost their jobs. They have a toddler. Okay. I'll do this for free.
Red Rocks Roof and Solar. I talk about Brooke and the gang over there all the time. Maybe you have a residential system that someone installed years ago and now you can't find them and there's problems with it. They can fix it. How about if you have a commercial building? She can find grant money, tax credits to pay for almost 100% of the system. And you can generate revenue and solar power, of course, right there on a free system. I know it sounds too good to be true, but if you call her, we have had people that have done it with her. They get all the grant money, they get the tax credits, they have $0 into the system, and they generate cash flow every single month. Okay. You got to call her up. They're great people. RedRocksRS.com. That's RedRocksRS.com. Now, here's something you generally never hear. The word contractor and discount. That's Discount Bath. These guys do exactly that. In fact, their website is discountbath.com. I'm talking quality remodels at discount prices. Upfront, transparent pricing. They manage everything, the materials. They have 5-year warranty on all labors and materials. They have a lifetime warranty on their solid shower wall system. They have a wide variety of materials to choose from. They can do just the bathroom. They can do just the shower. They can do tub to shower conversions. They can do it all. Here's some specials going on right now. You ready? Free demo in Holloway, a hall bath. The value is $1,175. Master bath, $2,793. Call these guys for details. They come out. They can help you choose different things. They're really great people. DiscountBath.com. DiscountBath.com. And remember, you can always find them on our referral list at referrallist.com. John Fuller, Fuller Law, what more can I say? Suzanne and I were headed back from Sam's Club. Lady runs a red light, screaming at her kid in the back seat. T-bones us. Every airbag in the car goes off. Suzanne had a broken nose, back problems. I had some back problems. It was horrible. You know who I called without hesitation after we left the emergency room? John Fuller. He got involved from the very beginning. These big people, these big attorney firms out there, like, the Strong Arm, or, well, I don't even know about him, but all these people out there, if you see him advertised everywhere, the chances of you ever talking to that person are very slim. With Fuller Law, you deal with John Fuller. He is absolutely the best attorney I have ever dealt with one-on-one for an accident claim. He'll talk to you. He'll return your phone calls. He'll fight for every nickel. And in both cases, we used him. Both times, our daughter got rear-ended on I-25 in Castle Rock. And once again, policy limits. Ours, policy limits. He got every nickel that other insurance company had to give. I mean, simple as that. You want the best. Forget about the rest. Call John Fuller. Seriously. Oh, my goodness. Call him. Check him out at myaccidentlawyer.co. That's myaccidentlawyer.co. Myaccidentlawyer.co. Now, I'm going to tell you about one more company. You know who that is? I'm not sure because I don't have another one to talk about. We'll be back to the show in a second. I thought I had 4 spots.
Fill in?
In-house.
I literally, Dragon, I thought I had 4 spots.
And I thought you were headed to an in-house. Like, all right, you do what you want to do, boo.
Nope. I said, okay, and then you know what I'm going to talk about? And I look, and there's no one to talk about. So I figured, what do you do now? Well, you admit what happened and move on. So, how do you want to finish up with her? I mean, if you're dealing with State Farm, I guess we'll bring up the attorney part.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend much time. I just got a few minutes here.
I think, initially I told her about you guys, and she wanted to just call in and say thanks.
Okay.
Kind of a kudos, but I don't know what else to do other than.
How much have you gotten her so far?
I think she started out at 20-something. I'm up to 60.
But there's still more
There's
money.
2 claims again,
Oh.
And it was
Isn't sewage backup generally only like 20 or something? Or?
Yeah, it just depends on how much damage it does, and you really have to navigate it correctly to point toward the origin of it. Because we had to jackhammer the slab to get to it, and they weren't going to pay for it originally, so I had to get creative there.
What happened to the roof? Because all the drywall fell in.
That hail was so severe, it actually.
That's from that.
Yeah, it actually.
I just came in and we just drywall and insulation.
Yeah.
That's it?
We had to mitigate it or do abatement because it was all asbestos popcorn ceiling, and that originally State Farm was like, just paint over it, it'll be fine. You can't do that. With asbestos. This is a whole. It's against the law to do that. Yeah. You got to scrape and
It sounds like they're waiting for a lawsuit to be filed before they're moving on.
I agree.
Who are you been using now or suggesting?
Chad Wilson Law Firm out of Houston. There's one up here.
Black something?
Daly and Black only takes big
Big
stuff.
cases.
Yeah. No, we're talking. They want $500,000 or bigger.
That's the problem. Was the way it's just.
Well, they get so much money involved in it, man. We Tom and I sued a company. We had $200,000 in it before we even got to the courthouse step.
Trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. 630 KHOW.
think it's a pure delay tactic. Let's do this. I want Matt to call you after. I mean, he's been helping you, and I assume he's been doing a great job. I mean, I realize he can't get State Farm to do anything, but I mean, I assume you're making the calls, Matt, and doing everything you're supposed to.
We've gotten a lot more money than she started with, and her house has been put back together.
Well, let's
so,
go
I mean,
back to
that's-
there real quick. So she started originally, you said around 20?
I think so. Leia was 20 to 30, and now we're up to almost 60 for the full approval.
But she still has a ton of more damage.
Well, the damage, mostly the house has been put back together. We're just waiting on
checks.
Checks for her incurred costs, checks for what we thought was approved contractors' bids that were paid less than. So
Got
just a bunch of different stuff.
Okay, but at least she's back in the house in that part.
Exactly, and I had to help her too with
We were living in an
additional-
Airbnb for months,
Right.
and then we
Did they
finally got
recoup
back
that?
home with our baby.
Did you get her to recoup that?
We're still working on an outstanding payment with that too.
Oh, see, that should be a DM or however they write it. Brian Burns Compass. I mean, typically your homeowners, if you're out of your house because of whatever, they pay a certain amount per day.
No, it's not a per day. It's a loss of use. So yeah, they have to put you in a somewhere that would be
Comparable.
like your comparable to your home.
But they pay for it.
Yeah, but it's not like rental car insurance where it's a per day amount.
I got you.
It's a blanket amount, and a lot of them are unlimited.
So the coverage could be up to $250,000, whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of policies, it's a time limit, 24 months, 12 months.
Got it.
And
While
then,
they rebuild or whatever.
Right, and some have dollar amounts, but a lot of them have gone to just unlimited.
I can't believe you're fighting just State Farm for that, let alone the other stuff, but that seems so cut and dry.
It's been an absolute nightmare. I can't think of one other claim where I've had this much trouble.
Well, Leia, let's do this. I want Matt to touch base with you after the show. And I think you need to start moving for an attorney. I mean, I really do. If he's willing to get everything together, package it up neatly for different attorneys to look at and see if they want to go forward with it, I think that's your next step. I mean, I really do. There's not much more to say about it, so let's kind of leave it at that. Now, is Rachel back up? Rachel, what's going on with you? Rachel, I'm going to talk in Rachel's language. Rachel. All right.
Poor Rachel.
Kelly.
She held a long time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Rachel, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I took my car to this guy to fix it, and just because I had just bought it, and I have a lot of problems with my speech. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Keep going.
I was in a coma for 4 months.
Hey, Rachel,
But,
Rachel, let me ask some basic questions, and I'll let you finish. When did you buy the car and from whom?
Okay, I bought it in April from a car dealer, and he gave me a 2 years admission on it, but I still took it to get the admission after I took the car out.
So,
I didn't
Rachel,
pass the admission.
Rachel, what was the name of the dealer?
Oh, geez, I got it somewhere.
That's
I
all right.
can't remember the
If
name.
you don't have it, that's fine.
Okay.
So you said he gave you a 2 years on the emissions. I don't understand what that means. Did he give you a voucher to go get an emissions inspection
No.
done?
His admission test is supposed to be good for 2 years.
Okay, so when he sold you the car, he was saying the test was already done and it should be good for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, you're supposed to get an emissions test when they sell it to you. But let's keep going. So it had a current emissions sticker, right?
And for 2 years, good for
Then
2
what?
years when I got out the car. Well, I took it and it passed the test too when I took it. I took it also, just to make sure. But then I took it to it started going out on me sometimes when I was driving it. So I took it to this guy to fix it. He's a mechanic, and he took me for my car.
What do you mean?
took
Wait.
a lot of
What? Hold on. What do you mean he took you for your car? He's got the car now?
No, I mean, well, what I meant is he took all the parts off my motor, and
Wait a minute. You brought it to him. Hold on.
Yeah.
I realize you have some form of speech impediment or whatever, but you brought it to him to get fixed because occasionally it would stop while you were driving it, right?
Yes.
And he started stripping it down and taking the parts off of it.
He told me, I called him about 3 days later because he wasn't answering his phone. So I just went down there, and he said, your car is good and it's working and it's ready to go. I said, look, I'm going to drive 2 hours out of town. Is it going to be okay? He said, it's good. He said, your catalytic converters and everything's good and ready to
Okay,
go.
so what happened? You got down there to get it.
I took the car. I took the car. I went about 4 miles, and it went out on me. And when I was driving it, it was making a lot of noise.
Okay.
And it was hard to
So
drive
you
it.
picked it up. He apparently fixed it, but he didn't, and the whole thing is a mess.
It's a mess. And I called. All
right, hold on. I got to take this break. What I'm going to ask you the second we come back is you said at one point that he was stripping it and doing something with the parts. I'd like to get to there. Hold on.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver.
Yeah, it looks like it. Where's your office?
Right at Dry Creek.
This is one of the funniest
Oh,
shows
okay.
Yosemite
that we've had in a while between Joseph and his antics.
Do we not have sound on YouTube? Do you know if you brought Switchblade 4 down?
No, they're good.
Yeah, they're good now.
What was it? Was it Switchblade?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've been doing the same, and now there's audio. That's all I know.
Okay. How long was it down? Do we know, Kelly? Holy crap.
I would say maybe 5 to 10% of my claims go to an attorney. Okay. They take it to that big.
Right, but it's the direction you point it.
About 5 to 10%. Gotcha.
That's quite a few, though.
Well, considering the volume I do, I mean, that's a few a month. Minimum that are going to the attorneys.
All right, 303-713-8255. I want to tell you about a company, or actually it's not a company, it's an attorney, Joseph A. Lazera. You know, we're all human. I don't care who you are, at some point you might find yourself in trouble. Maybe you're lucky and you walk this earth and never make a mistake, but he's a criminal defense attorney. And if you ever need one, he's the guy I want you to call. Maybe it's a DUI, maybe it's Christmas, New Year's, whatever it happens to be. You had too much to drink and you basically get popped for a DUI. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong and the cop thought you were drunk and you got a DUI. Things happen in life. Maybe you get into a fight with your neighbor. Maybe a domestic violence with someone in your house or a partner. You get the idea. Things happen. If you need a good attorney, I want you to call Joseph A. Lazera. I've been talking about Joe for well over 10 years. He does a lot of shoplifting, DUI, assault cases. He's actually defended people. One guy I remember that actually shot a police officer. He's one of the best out there. He knows the DAs. He knows the judges. He knows how to cut a deal if you are guilty. And more importantly, if you're innocent, he knows how to get in front of a jury and, try to get you off. It's simple as that. Joseph A. Lazera. Check him out at lazeralegal.com, or I'm going to give you this phone number to put into your phone. It's important to have because if you do get in trouble, you get that phone call, you got to know who to call. So just put it in your phone. Put in Joseph A. Lazera, attorney, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200, or find him at referrallist.com. That YouTube audio threw me off. I didn't hear music coming back. So I go 303-70. It's time to do commercials. You know who I love? I haven't listened to him for years, but I used to love how he did commercials. Howard Stern.
Oh, yeah.
He would do just anything he did live, like what was the toilet one he did, the porta potty? Mr. Dang it.
Johnny on the spot?
No, it was that little, it's no more than a stool you put in front of the toilet.
Oh, Squatty Potty.
Squatty Potty. And, he's selling them for $69 or whatever. Then he's got a jewelry store that I've used now for, 20 years. I still buy her stuff from there in New York City. And he's so a lot of times he just says it. I mean, he really just says whatever they want him to say. There's no, he's not joking about it. Sometimes he does, with the Squatty Potty, but he doesn't have to, all he's got to do is say it. I mean, his audience is so damn big. He doesn't have to fish with a ton of great bait. He can just literally say it. And it's amazing. And I kind of always envied that.
Yeah.
But 20 million people listening to you.
He's all on Sirius only now, right?
Yeah.
Sirius XM only.
20 million people.
It's got to be a lot of pressure to get the right product. Because if you're selling just schlock, then people are going to be upset when they buy it.
I don't. That's to that point though. I don't know if he gives a shit about that.
Okay.
Mark, my syrup broke in her.
Who are they talking about?
Strawberry
Oh.
syrup was
It's everywhere. Did it ruin anything?
So she's like really excited about the Kindle.
God, if it ruined the Kindle, that would suck.
Yeah, that's probably the worst thing to spill on stuff.
Syrup.
Syrup.
Tell her to call Rock over at American Restoration.
He's got a crew, syrup crew.
833.
That dude has pretty much all crews.
Every time I've called him, he's like in the middle of something. He always comes on, but he's like either on a ladder or tearing down asbestos or whatever, picking up a dead body. Whatever he does, he's always doing something.
I've worked with him quite a bit. He's cool.
They make a lot of money, man.
Well, it's emergency work.
I know. Yeah, and most of it's always paid by insurance, so people don't care, but it's incredible how much they get per hour per fan, for example. And when it hasn't been insurance, he'll cut people, good breaks. Did I get all my Mackenzie?
McKinsey and ProBid.
Well, he's busy.
Tom can probably work ProBid in tomorrow.
41.
I can never find Mackenzie.
Yeah.
McKinsey, ProBid, Excel.
Get to Troy.
Colette's new, right? Yeah.
Oh, I see that second one, comment on Joseph's situation. That's the guy that, whenever I just got in here, you guys were talking about, right?
The guy
Who
who
put
put
money in the
$38,000
cash. Yeah.
Like,
I got that gal's number that called earlier with the roof came in. She just called me. She was supposed to call me.
10 seconds, buddy.
Are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Regrow your own natural hair during Advanced Hair Summer Sales Event. AdvancedHair.com.
A good estate attorney does a lot more than just write up a simple will. Take Dan McKenzie. He can do all your estate planning, but he also specializes in asset protection, lawsuit prevention. He can do a will, a trust, a power of attorney, medical directives. This guy can handle it all. We use him on the show all the time. He's on helping our listeners all the time, week in, week out. I want you to give him a call if you need anything to do with estate planning. He'll talk to you for free over the phone. But check him out at coplans.co, as in Colorado. coplans.co. That's coplans.co. Now, 303-713-8255. I'll let you know when a line's open. I'm going to go back to Rachel. Rachel had a problem with the mechanic. Here's as far as we got right now. She bought a car. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. She brought it to a mechanic because it was having trouble. She spent, how much did you spend, Rachel, with that mechanic before you picked it up? How many dollars?
Well, I just had spent $100, but then I spent $100 on the tow truck to take back.
Okay, wait a minute. So, okay, that's fine. So you picked it up, you gave the guy $100, he said it was fixed, and there's still problems with it.
Yeah, well,
that's not surprising. I mean, I like an oil change is $100 now. Yeah. But where are we at with it right now? I mean, I do want to zip you.
He gave me a receipt from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Okay.
And he said, your car needs this, and I have the receipt right here.
Okay.
And it came up to $6,441.29 just for the parts. He said, and you still have to pay the labor.
But wait, did he do all that stuff?
No, he gave me a quote, and he said, if you want me to fix the car for you, this is what I'm going to charge you.
Okay, but wait, you didn't have it done, right?
No.
So what's the phone call about?
Well, I went back to get my car, and all the motor parts are missing to it. He had enough.
Okay, hold on. Rachel, tell me if I'm on the right path. He thought you were going to do the work, so he started stripping down the car, but you didn't authorize it. You weren't going to do it. You went to pick it up, and it's all in pieces.
Yes.
And what does he say about that? Is he willing to put it back together?
No, he's telling me I didn't do nothing to your car.
He's telling you all the parts were off of it when you brought it there?
Exactly. He just supposedly put it together. Supposedly.
Yeah, he put something together. It's called you. What's this guy's name?
Yeah. His name is Raymond Reese.
And where is Raymond? What's his shop called?
He works from home.
Oh, I'm just like...
I'm just so upset. Because
I know. I can tell. Hold on. I'm frustrated too. Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to put you on hold. Kelly, pick her up. Get Raymond's phone number. And let's give this to Deputy Doc to call over. Let's just have Deputy Doc call over there. Ask Raymond what's going on. Let's get his side of the story. I'm not going to go off the handle right now because I want to hear his side. Now, if this guy doesn't want to give a side to the story or hangs up on you, let me know. I could easily change my mind.
The best number to reach
Works out of his house.
One of our deputies.
It's like $100. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jiffy Lube's $129 for an oil change.
Exactly. A diagnostic tool hookup is $100. Yeah.
And the name of the gentleman that you went to fix your car, what was his name?
Hey guys, Kelly, we're gonna have to just take every number. Let's light them up for Tommy first thing in the morning. I'm gonna kiss these guys away.
His phone number. Oh,
Goes quick, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Ruiz. Okay, gotcha. And do you have a phone number for Raymond? Okay.
Stinky cat urine. Ugh. Can you imagine that smell? How about a stain when you walk into someone's house on a carpet? It's got a big red wine stain. You can tell they tried to clean it 400 times, but it's still there. How about an area rug that they've only vacuumed? It's never been cleaned. We all know what homes look like if you never have carpet cleaning, and a lot of people have these carpet cleaners out. I call them shysters. You know what? The carpet looks good for a day or so, but then all that dirt that's been trapped in the emulsifiers and the soap, it ends up soaking back up and getting back into the carpet, and 2 or 3 days later, your carpet looks the same it did before it got cleaned.
I'm gonna go.
You know who
ahead
doesn't do that?
and
Zero
give
Res.
all of
I love Shane and the gang down there at Zero Res. They've been out to our house. It is absolutely 100% the best carpet cleaning I ever have. They have basically empowered water. That's my word, not theirs. They come out, they clean without that soap, but it cleans so great that a month later, 2 months later, it still looks brand new. If something does wick back up to the top, you can call them up. A lot of times they'll come back out and get that spot again for free.
All right.
They have a deal going on right now. 3 rooms. 3 rooms, $139. I'm not sure you're going to get a better deal than that. As we start getting closer to November and Thanksgiving and Christmas, when people have family coming in, that's when prices go up. So get those carpets done now. Winter's way away. Winter's way behind. Now's the perfect time to get the carpets clean. ZeroResDenver.com. That's ZeroResDenver.com. Now, K&H Home Solutions. 65 years. How many contractors have been around 65 years? Here's the bottom line, though. They have high performance windows. They're called Alpen. and they're actually made here in Colorado. You want the best windows for your mountain house or your mountain cabin or even your house down here in Denver Metro, you want to call these guys and look at the Alpen windows. The energy efficiency is ridiculous. It's basically the same as drywall, if you can imagine that. A beautiful window made in Colorado for Colorado with great insulation. They also, of course, can do any kind of different windows. They can do siding. They can do anything out there. Give them a call. Their doors are gorgeous. Their sliding glass doors are absolutely beautiful. 303-421-7100. 65 years in business. Almost no one can say that. 303-421-7100 or khwindows.com.
And what's your last name, Troy?
Okay.
Hutchinson? And what's your phone number?
See, I was looking
All right,
at
Troy, I'm going to go ahead
RV.
and give this straight to Mark.
So what
okay?
you
He's the
got me on
owner,
RV,
So I will give this
it's
to
like
him, and he'll be giving you
$750
call,
a day
okay?
or something like that if we break down,
no
because it
problem.
does trip interruption. I mean, it's high. I mean, it's really, who is it, Progressive?
Your RV is with Progressive.
Yeah, so it's $750. We just renewed it. It was like $7 or $8 grand. So this one here, you know me, I quote everywhere. They're only $400 less, but guess what the daily allowance would be?
Jesus, can I reschedule
It's remarkable
you
how much
for
it is.
tomorrow to deal
$100
with your
bucks.
plumbing issue?
What the hell would you do with $100?
Stranded on the road?
Yeah,
Nothing.
you're in trouble.
And then the maximum tow or breakdown
Hello? Jesus,
is about
are you
1,100.
there?
Well, that could tow a 45-foot rig. I don't think that would hook up a 45-foot rig. Literally, I don't think they would hook me up for that amount of money.
With one of
And
our
you're sure ain't towing it a mile.
I've got a full behind camper.
Oh, do you?
Insured with State Farm. When you have a motor on the front, that changes everything.
It's a different type of policy.
Well, yeah, because your car carries it,
Well, your liability does, but the physical damage. Yeah,
just like my trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to add it on. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got all in house. Pro bid. I'll do pro bid real quick.
Sure you will.
And that's 970-402-1353. Okay, perfect. We're going to try to get to you, so just hang on for me, but
I love it. I go look at the empty studio next door. Poke your head in there when we leave. There's never anybody in there. It's empty. All the shows are national shows. It's beautiful. They redid it. Big TVs, gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous in there. No one's in there.
Redheaded stepchild in this room.
KOA, well, you see it. It's a fishbowl. You can see who's in there. Everything's been redone. I'm looking over here. They've got shit duct taped. Literally duct taped to the
Oh,
wall.
that was me. I did that.
Did you really?
To keep the wire out of my way when I was doing the show.
It's just amazing.
That was me.
This has looked like this for 2 years. 2 years.
Wild. Well, they figured you've gone remote now, so.
I was gonna say I haven't been in studio here in a long time. It's always Tom's house.
I've only been Tom's house once. I was here last time.
Were you?
Was I here?
And these guys are, you guys are gone.
All right, 303.
On Musk, we'll have the highlights for you and more starting at 2 on 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. Don't forget 303 Martino. That number works on and off the air. Give it to your friends. We love helping people out. Now, I need to tell everybody who we had in studio and why you need to call them. I'm going to put it that simple. Dr. Joel, first of all, if you're looking for the weight loss medicine, the medication that can help you lose weight extremely quick. I'm not going to go over how it works or why it works, but it does work, and they have it for the lowest price out there, $275 a month. That includes the initial visit. It includes all the medication, all the medication. And Dr. Joel, let me ask you this. How do they learn how to give themselves a shot? That's easy, right?
Yeah, our patient coordinator will tell them how to do it. It's a tiny little insulin needle that you can do in your thigh.
So it's
or you
not
can do
like, you can do it anywhere.
You can do it. It's a really, really small
And you
needle.
do it once a week.
You do it once a week.
And that $275, literally, that includes everything. It includes the initial
consultation. Anytime you want to talk to our patient coordinator, it includes a monthly follow-up call to you from our medical doctor to check and see how you're doing and answer any questions.
No long-term.
No long-term, and all the medication that you
Everything.
need comes to you once a month,
So
shipped to you.
If you've been putting it off out there, people, and if you've asked your doctor and tried to go through insurance and it's like $1,000, $2,000 a month, $275 a month, same thing. This guy can do it. They're great. We get calls all the time. People so happy with them. But check them out at denverregen.com. The other thing Dr. Joel does, I love your clinic. You do multiple things, but the hair restoration is unbelievable. In fact, Tom is doing it right now. He's about 2.5 months in. His head looks great.
Yep. That's denverhairclinic.com.
denverhairclinic.com.
Where we use stem cells and combine it with products from your own blood to regrow hair.
And listen, any questions you have, call up. They love talking to people on the phone. Call them today. Talk to them about the weight loss or the hair growth. And then I want to talk Marc Mager. He is with Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark, you've done work in my house. I always say this every time I see. I love your painter. What's his name?
Omar.
Omar has been with Mark as an employee for like 20 years. He painted the entire exterior of our house years ago. It still looks as good as the day after he did it. And I know why. You used a great paint.
Great paint.
You know, not
Great
only
prep.
that, and a great prep, and then, of course, a great painter. But he can do anything. He can do siding. They do roofing. They get involved and help out the next person I'm going to talk about all the time, and that is Matt with Paragon Services. So when Matt goes out and he needs estimates, because a lot of roofers will say, hey, you have a roof claim, we're going to write you $20,000 for the roof. They neglect to tell you, and this is all insurance companies, they neglect to tell you about the deck, the siding, the paint, and everything else that goes into a hail claim. So he'll have Mark go out, look for that stuff, and then they'll fight your insurance company and get everything fixed instead of just the roof. So anytime you want to call Matt, what number do you want him to call? The 719-726-0200?
That's correct.
Yeah, so any questions you have on a current claim that you have right now, or maybe you think the claim's closed, but it's been within the last couple of years and you're sick and tired of seeing damage, then the last person I want to thank for coming in, our Insurance Help Center, Brian Burns. This guy can save you money. He'll shop 25 companies. You go to compassinsurance.com. They can help you with your own insurance company. They can give you all kinds of advice. Everybody hang tight. We've got a packed show tomorrow as well. My name's Marc Mager, and this is the Troubleshooter Network.
And now another insurance story from